chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary at the line.
IR18, Audi R18, Porsche 919, dirt track at Charlotte and Lima Land. Those are the big features a lot of us are looking forward to coming March the 6th. But until we get to that point, we have Friday Night Dirt Night to hold us over. Randy Chenowth, Cam Walsh, and He Louie bringing you the final iteration of Friday Night Dirt Night here on RaceSpot TV and on iRacingLive. It's a fantastic night of action we have coming at you. Red Bull Global Rallycross cars hit the track at Iowa to conclude their season. The World of Outlaws late models, they're going to go to Pennsylvania to take on the tight paperclip at Williams Grove. And the World of Outlaw Craftsman Sprint Car Series, after just finishing up in the real world their race at Vegas, they're going to take to the USA Speedway for their final round here on Friday nights. Cam, it's been an impressive 3 months. It's been an exciting 3 months, but everything good has to come to an end.
Absolutely. And hello, everybody, for what should be the final time in this iteration. I gotta say, this has been outstanding. I think everybody sort of loves this place. And, well, let's get her out with a bang. We've got Iowa Speedway on the docket, and I'm pretty happy with what we see here. But, Randy, I'm looking at the timing sheets, and, well, there's somebody missing.
There is a big name missing indeed. Mr. 11 time here on Friday Night Dirt Night in the Red Bull Global Rallycross Championship is not here. Mitchell is preparing for tomorrow's season opener of the Blanc Pond GT Series from Bathurst. I know that him and his teammates in Calanda have gone a little bit into hibernation mode and are really testing the cars to figure out which one they would want to run. And because of that, he's entirely focused on that instead of racing here tonight. But with that said, that means we get a new winner as we take a look at the points. And Will Cam, he only needs to show up 11 weeks and still be dominating by a colossal margin.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 1,653 points. That is a shocking amount of points. But we have a massive battle between Sendrey Setsas and Stelian Chipovalski. And, of course, I see Sendrey Setsas here, and I see Chipovalski here. So, hey, we got a points battle for second place here on the docket.
I believe this is the first round where we don't have any of the quote-unquote supporting Calanda drivers as well, along with Mitchell, as qualifying didn't ready to come under wraps. Like we said, it's a big build coming out that we have the new pieces of content I just described coming out on Tuesday night. There's also a lot of other things coming in that build. One of the best quality of life builds I've actually seen in quite a long time. I know a lot of people are hyped for the content, but there's a lot of interesting little fixes that are nice. But with that said, qualifying is scored complete. We have a new person on pole for Dirt Night, and now let's go down and start ticking away till we figure out who is going to be the only other winner in the Red Bull Global Rallycross Series on a Friday Night Dirt Night on RaceSpot TV and iRacingLive. Heat race number 1 is Tony Repusard. He's going to be on the pole tonight. Qualifying time is 36.2. Stelian Chipovalski will start second. Connor Parisi in third. Fabian Menetre in fourth. Duad Caroni 5th, Adam Elby in 6th, and Mark Herso will round out the 7th spot. 14 total cars as always, 7 per heat. Top 4 will transfer. 5 laps, you have to joker once, and the joker here at Iowa is always a talking point because it cuts out so much of the standard lap. So as we get that VEC driver of Tony Repisard, someone we're not used to seeing, his teammate Pavement EST, someone who we are used to seeing, they are on the grid. And we are green. Ford Fiesta, for the first time in a while, leads them into corner number 1. Still Chipolevsky on the outside. He's going to fall back into the clutches of Connor Parisi as they go up and over the tabletop. Fabian Menetre, he's cycled in the 3rd spot with Joao Caroni. He's a little bit wide through this corner. Need to be careful with the grass on the outside. He does a good job of handling that. As let's see who's going to take the joker here. Chipolevsky does not. Parisi does not. Menetre does not. Joao Caroni, Adam Elby, as well as Tony Repisard. That trio will take the joker as they come to the end of lap number 1.
Yeah, so that VEC Ford is going to lead lap number 1. Tony Repisard, very quick in all manners driving, as Rod Caroni and Adam Elby are now your 1, 2, 3. But you got to keep your eye on this battle in the back here. Stelian Pavelski, he's on his own. That's actually dangerous because that means he's got space to run. And boy, does he run these cars hard. Connor Paris is chasing him, and Fabian Menetre. And I got to say, Randy, it's starting to get to that point in the rest of this field as Fabian Menetre, he will take the joker, and that will pull him out just ahead of Adam Elby and almost pulling alongside Ron Caroni. Point I'm trying to make, these guys have been working week after week after week, and finally these guys are getting to the point where they can really race each other in the heats. We just got to get it done in the final.
Been a good heat race thus far. Tony Repisard continues to lead the way over Joao Caroni, pushes a little bit wide. Pavement EST does a good job, and right now for the first time in a while, I can say that the top 3 of a podium is cycled out by the blue oval. So Fiesta, Fiesta, Fiesta. It's a party out in front down in Mexico as they cycle themselves back towards the oval, coming to 2 laps to go. Adam Elby currently is in 3rd spot in that Volkswagen. Stelian Chipolevsky, he's going to stay out there. We're going to make it top 4 Ford Fiestas as Connor Parisi, he takes the joker and he cycles into 2nd.
Yeah, good run in there. He gets a good nip from Fabian Menetre. Menetre trying the over-under over the ramp, which is not what you want to do. Adam Elby finds himself in his number 53 machine coming in, and there goes Caroni. He runs wide. He's in the grass. He'll lose 1 position. Will Caroni then take the joker? He will not, so that means that Adam Elby's there as he still have to take the joker. Actually, no, they took them on the first lap, actually. Excuse me, pardon me. But Gerard Caroni, he is getting swarmed right now by that very persistent Volkswagen.
The only car we have yet to take the joker is actually Stelian Chipolevsky. Is about to add Mark Herso to that list, but he just hit it. So only 1 driver we expect to take it on that final lap, and it's one of the quickest in the service. Tony Repisard doesn't quite get the landing of the jump right, but does a good job getting it back underneath him, and does a good job through that long turn number 1 after the timing beam, and now back onto the asphalt as he goes through the quick S's section. Connor Parisi comfortably in 2nd place in that Reddit schemed car. VEC teammate Repisard is in 3rd with Joao Caroni in 4th. Very tightly contested by Elby and Hesso. Chipolevsky, though, he's going to jump out, and he's going to break up the Ford train, and he's going to go to the lead in this heat race on the final lap and come through the final corner, and the Volkswagen Beetle is going to rain on the Blue Oval's parade and win heat race number 1.
Yeah, that's the danger of letting Stelian Chepelski do his own race. He is an extraordinarily quick driver. Everyone knows that by now, and well, you just proved it.
Tony Repisard, he pretty much had the situation he wanted, had clean track the entire way through. He is not going to be happy with himself that he let Stelian get away with a 1.1 second advantage in that first heat race. Rest of the post-race results as follows. Of course, Stelian, Tony, Parisi, Menetre, Jawad, Elby, and Hesso. Those are the 7 cars in heat race number 1. Heat race number 2, starting grid, you have Graham Quinn, Johan Hart, Bobby Zielinski, Pablo Castro, Daniel Ackland, Remy DuPont, and Sindre Setsas. Not very good qualifying for that Radicals driver in the back. Well, the last heat race was dominated by the Blue Oval. This one, there's Volkswagens all over the place. So the entire rest of your grid is trying to wait a couple moments, get everyone on. We're waiting on one more car and a 3rd VEC car in the background. Most of what you're used to seeing, I think, is Fabian. So we have 3 this time. Lights are on, though. And we are green. Quinn has his teammate behind him. Johan Hart joins him on that front row. His teammate in the first race, and Quinn way overcooks it into the first corner. That's a mistake all of his own, and Johan Hart will say thank you very much and take the race lead. Sindre Setsas, super awkward over the jump, very, very tight to getting into that bridge that goes overhead. They're 3 wide through the second corner for a moment. Bobby Zielinski's going to hop the Joker. Graham Quinn is not going to, as Remy DuPont, they're going to take the Joker as well. So 2 drivers jump out to it early, and there's still a big gaggle of Volkswagens here in the mid-pack.
Yeah, Johan Hart, he was the one who came away with it. He had the whole, he didn't have the whole shot, but he was able to get the over-under. He took the Joker, so your leader right now is Hart, and we'll see what he can do if he can run away with it. Battling going on right now with Andre Setsas having an issue. That tyrannical driver, he's gone over one time. What has happened here? I think he hit the bumper, and then he had a little bit of help from a Volkswagen as he tried to get it going. I think he flipped himself.
I'm not sure what happened. I think he had a little bit of damage before that. Maybe a bit of grip roll. It's a little bit oftentimes a bit awkward getting up there onto the oval. So for Sindre, it's not a good situation. Johan Hart, he's coming down through to end lap number 2. Bobby Zielinski's in second. He's finally having a nice little heat race, Cam. That bright orange Volkswagen Beetle, we've grown accustomed to it, but unfortunately, we've grown accustomed to seeing it in the wall, and I think he's happy that at least at the moment, he's having a nice, successul run here in heat race number 2.
Now, why would you go and say a thing like that, Randy? You know how this is going to end.
I don't like slip angle. I'm sorry.
Oh boy, I will not say that car. These cars, we got to remember, they're super light and they've got a lot of power. So when they really throw the weight around, they can certainly flip themselves. That's something that they have proven both in real life and here on iRacing. And so I know I say that because I saw the driver's side tires lift as he goes over the jump one more time. Bobby Zielinski does. Wondering just about when people are going to take the rest of their Jokers. It looks to me like we have a couple of cars still on waiting for the Jokers. Wait, no, just Johan Hart. Wait, he took his already. I'm sorry.
So Cam is over here getting lost as Johan is still in the lead here of this heat race. As Bobby Zielinski, Graham Quinn, Daniel Ackland, I think pretty much has already taken the Jokers here. So pretty much not waiting on anybody to cycle their way back out there. White flag can be waving though for Johan Hart. Then, well, that RC team, we've seen them a while as Team Race Clutch. They've been in a number of these races, both Johan and Duad Crony waving their flags, but haven't had the most successful runs as he works through this infield section. So he's going to be happy to get a good starting position for this final tonight if he can just hold on to this. Up onto the oval now for the final time in heat race number 2. Johan Hart is going to be comfortably onto the throttle. A little bit of an awkward moment for Zielinski is Graham Quinn. I know, I take that back, is actually Castro who takes the Joker on that final lap. He's the one who still owed us one. He's going to be wheel-to-wheel with Zielinski into the final corner. Zielinski's going to hold on as Johan Hart takes the win in heat race number 2. Zielinski into second and Castro very aggressively third. Graham Quinn in fourth. Daniel Ackland fifth. Sixth place you have Rennie DuPont, and then of course in seventh place Sindre Setsas after that incident at the hairpin. But with that, we have the last chance qualifier coming at you. As always, we have 10 cars to make the feature. 8 of them have already been sorted, and the race winners in this second race will be the last 2 to decide. First and second place transfer to the feature. Top 6 cars in this as they start. Duad Caroni on the front row in the pole position. Daniel Ackland in second. Adam Elby in third. Remy DuPont in fourth. Mark Hesso fifth. And Sindre Setsas in the 6th position. Sindre can be a little hot under the collar, so watch for him after that mistake in his first heat race to try and be very, very aggressive coming through this field. Hopefully the tilt isn't on. As the field is on the grid, lights are on, revs build. And the last consolation race is underway for the Rallycross series. They're 3 wide, 3x3 in fact, into the first corner. Duad Cronin gets a good run as Ackland's going to try to work the momentum on the outside, and he's going to nose ahead at the timing beam in towards corner number 2, and Daniel Ackland's going to have the race lead and push out way wide onto the grass, and he touches out Duad Cronin as well. Patience is a virtue in these races as a number of cars go around here in the first sector of the racetrack, and we've seen this all season, Cam. People think it's Rallycross. We have to be aggressive. We need to take out the boxing gloves and really duke it out. These guys need there's still people who have yet to fail to realize that patience goes a long way even when there's only 6 laps on the board.
Yeah, and they haven't even gotten to the racing part. Adam Elby, he's driving around with basically a destroyed engine. It won't be long. There you go. As that, and actually Daniel Ackland spins out trying to avoid him. And this consolation race has absolutely gone to pieces here. Adam Elby's been a retirement. Your leader currently, I believe, is Sindre Setsas, as he has taken the Joker and he has come ahead of Remy DuPont. But other than that, the rest of this field is completely scattered to the winds. Randy?
It's basically the big thing right now. Number of cars all over the place. Is like we said, is we've seen it all season. People just need to learn to get patient. Maybe we need to start lighting you up on the broadcast when you start making silly moves. And Sindre Setsas is going to lead this this last chance qualifier, and Remy DuPont going to comfortably come into that third spot. Jawad Karoni, he cycled into the second spot for that last driver, as I said. As I take a look at Karoni here, Cam, he's already gotten a Joker, and he's quite a way behind here. So for Karoni, nowhere near close enough to harass the likes of DuPont and Sindre Setsas, and I think a number of those drivers behind have already jokered as well. Mark Resso technically still owes this one, but he was caught up in that big gaggle. This is unfortunately one of those situations where unless Sindre and the second place runner of Remy DuPont make a mistake, I really don't see that top two changing because of the amount of time the rest of their competition lost.
And I'm going to say for Sindre Setsas and Remy DuPont, I mean, fine additions. Gerard Karoni, I'm sure, is going to be beating himself up not being able to make this feature, this final feature, which actually has the potential for somebody to win. And Randy, that's actually kind of, A, I'm hoping that they all got their wrecking out of the way here in the consolation race, but B, and perhaps most importantly, we got to remember here, this is the chance. This is it. Nobody has been able to catch that Coanda driver of Mitchell de Jong, and now he's not here. This is the chance, so I am really worried about going into turn one at the start of this final.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's a lot of bragging rights on the line right now. No money, of course, for this championship. If you end up winning this championship, what do you get? Well, you basically get a PDF from iRacing saying that you are the champion of the season, and you get bragging rights on the year, and of course the participation credits. That's it. So huge amount of participation, and of course a huge amount of bragging rights for all these guys to say I was the one driver who took a checkered flag in a feature event other than Mitchell de Jong. That said, white flag is out here for this final last chance qualifier as Sindre Setsas continues to lead over Remy DuPont. Jawad Karoni 8 seconds off that second place runner in the third place as DuPont's going to work through that penultimate corner, second corner. Sindre Setsas is already on the asphalt, so there's a 6-second margin between those two, which is quite considerable. As they now come back out onto the oval, Sindre Setsas is going to try to keep it tight and close to the wall, as Remy DuPont is going to take that hairpin as well. Sindre on the brakes and back down on the run towards start finish, and he is going to claim the win here in this last chance qualifier at Iowa. Remy DuPont, VEC car, all three of them are going to make the feature, so almost 30% of your field, exactly 30% of your field is going to be VEC cars. Math is hard. As Jawad Karoni is just going to miss out by a few seconds. Mark Hersa is going to cycle through. Then Daniel Ackland, of course, and Adam Elby. They will be the last two drivers who scored a number of laps down. So with that, final feature of the night here on Global Rallycross before we get to build week. Before we get for what all these drivers in the Rallycross stuff are looking forward to, which is the new layout at Sonoma, which we've only gotten a little bit of teaserage about, thanks to the testers at iRacing and, of course, Drew Adamson for putting that together. But let's go down your starting grid here for the features. Stilian Chepolewski, Johan Hart, Tony Rebussard, Bobby Zielinski, and Connor Parisi, your top five, with Pablo Castro, Fabian Menetre, Graham Quinn, Sindre Setsas, and Remy DuPont. 10 cars, all going to be duking it out with bragging rights on the line. Fords and Volkswagens ready to go to battle for 10 laps around Iowa, and this is going to be a physical race around this Iowa Speedway. Just waiting on all the cars to get themselves set on the grid. We have everyone and we are green. Expect over aggressiveness into turn one. Bobby Zielinski sort of puts the nose in the middle, but he backs out of it wisely. And Chepolewski and Hart, everyone is through turn number one clean. Will turn two be the same way? This is where Calamity hit in the last chance qualifier. In towards turn two, and it's happened again. Who was that? I think that was Connor Parisi, who tried to chop the nose off a lot of people. He got shoved out of the way, but for the most part, we're through clean. 10 cars still running as they take the Joker, about half the field. Jokers for the first time.
It's Johan Harth, Tony Represard, and Bobby Zelensky. You're 1, 2, 3 right now. Sindre Setsas is there, as well as Remy Dupont. The people who didn't is Stilian Chepelowski, Pablo Castro, Graham Quinn, and Fabian Menetre. So Connor Parise, he is way behind. I don't see him making a huge recovery, but we got to remember, Chepelowski on his own is going to be the danger right here, unless Pablo can catch him up. I have a feeling that whenever that Joker does happen, which should be the last lap for Chepelowski, he's probably going to have the lead.
It's one of the things these guys need to be thinking about. The fact that Chepelowski is going to be out there more or less uncontested right now. So you really need to hope that something befalls that Apex Volkswagen. We saw the power of what he can do if he's allowed to run a number of clean laps out there in his heat race. If it happens again, it's going to be difficult for him. Johan Harth, though, he still has a good lead here in that race clutch. Bright red Ford Fiesta, quickly followed by Tony Represard in second. Bobby Zelensky, Sindre Setsas, and Fabian Menetre. They round out your top 5 as they work through the chicane. They're making a very tightly contested race for the last time of the season. Remy Dupont, he's in the 6th spot. Represard, he made a little bit of a mistake here at the hairpin. He's going to drop to the 2nd spot. I think this is just a little bit too over-aggressive with a big slide, and fortunately for him, it's going to drop him a number of spots.
Zelensky got moved out of the way going into the hairpin by Sindre Setsas. Absolutely bullet him, lifted the rears right up on his Volkswagen, landed, and he got that thing turned around. He's now just ahead of Stilian Chepelowski, which is not good, seeing as the driver of Bobby Zelensky has taken his Joker and Chepelowski has not. So that just goes to tell you how fast Chepelowski's going, and I have a feeling Zelensky's not going to be happy about that one.
Stilian Joker's here, and that's why. He's just starting to get into traffic. Where does he come out in relation? He's going to get side by side with Johan Harth. Johan has the inside, though, for the final corner, and that bright red Ford Fiesta is going to hold on to it for now. Stilian tries to work the cut back, but not quite able to do so. Look for a move into this corner right here, right now. It's not going to be on, but we're in for the closest fight for the race lead that we have had all season long. It's Team Race Clutch versus Apex as they work themselves through the chicane and into the hairpin where we just saw Represard make a big mistake here. These guys are going to be picture perfect, and it's going to be popsicle stick, or excuse me, cross flags once they get to start finish up onto the oval, and Stilian is being a very, very aggressive on that rear bumper of Johan Harth still as they again get hard on the brakes, do the banking here, and Stilian going to be more aggressive with the racing line again, but Johan doing a good job taking the line away.
Yeah, and Johan Harth, he's just playing defensive. Now, this is for them all the marbles here. Both of these guys have jokered. Both of these guys are running hard here, okay? This means that we have basically got, what, 4 laps to go here to decide who is going to be the one to take the checkered. And I have a feeling Stilian Chepelowski is the one in the pilot seat here. He is ready to rock and roll. You can hear the turbo spooling as they go past the hairpin. A little bit of a, you can see how much wider of an exit the Ford takes over the Volkswagen. Gets a little bit faster on the run. The Volkswagen can run on the brakes. And this is kind of the battle we've been waiting for all year, Randy. It's a great battle between a Ford and a Volkswagen. Both these guys at the top of their game and with all the marbles in play.
There's a few laps left, and Johan Harth makes a little mistake, tags one of those tire barriers through that 2nd corner, but does a good job holding on to the situation. Stilian, we know that he's a very aggressive driver and is prone to make some, let's say, moves that aren't quite the most well thought out. We've seen that a few times. Let's see if that's going to happen here and where the big move is going to come, because when you're talking about being the only driver who wins the race an entire season compared to someone else, you want to be the one who gets that job done, and when you're nose to tail in that 2nd spot, you're going to make a big move up and over the jump. 3 laps remaining in this one. Johan Harth not great over the jump, but Stilian Chepelowski was worse as they worked through this long 180-degree left for the 8th time tonight. On Johan once again through the chicane, still single file. Stilian, he's been making some mistakes, Cam, and he's fallen off the back of that bright red Fiesta.
Yeah, it gets an explosive exit, that Fiesta, doesn't he? He climbs just a little bit up the track more than I think the Volkswagen does. You can definitely see that gap. This is the first time that I think we've seen Stilian struggle. I think he's in pursuit. He's not necessarily the one in the seat anymore, I have to say. The momentum switched on over to that Ford of Johan Harth, and there's a car parked there, Tony Represard, as he is now stuck waiting for cars to drive by. So Represard's not going to be happy with that P10 finish. I think he's just going to call it a day. He does. And I got to say, Randy, it's been a great feature so far.
Great feature for sure. They come onto the oval from the penultimate time, and Johan doing a fantastic job. Last trip around the racetrack, 3/10 of a second advantage over that Apex Volkswagen of Stilian Chipolewski, down through into the infield section, through that final corner, white flag in the air. Johan, awkward line over the jump, and does a good job to hold on to it, and a nice flick into this first corner, through this 180-degree left-hander for the final time. Last lap for Friday Night Dirt Night in the Red Bull Global Rallycross cars, through the chicane, and Johan, even with that little mistake, still managing the race lead through that 180-degree right and back out onto the banking for the final time. Checking for anyone in the background, potentially throwing a joker late. No one is there. Johan has about 10 to 15 car lengths into the final braking zone, and the one driver who will win, besides Mitchell de Jong in 2018 Season 1, will be Johan Hart for Team Race Clutch here in the final round at Iowa.
And congratulations to that RC driver, as I'm sure he's going to want to light him up. Stilian Chipolewski, it was there. He's been one of the only drivers that has been able to challenge Mitchell all season, and he just wasn't able to pull it off here. I'm sure he'll still be happy as he gives a little bit of a love tap to the inside. They might try to do that, the whole drifting thing, I suppose. But either way, congratulations to that number 3 machine, as he is going to be the sole victor in the broadcast races outside of Mr. Mitchell de Jong.
Johan is going to be burning them down, doing a little bit of Ken Block impersonating, a little bit of Jim Connor there with the barriers. Nicely done, Johan. As we're going to take a quick trip now down your post-race results from the final round of Friday Night Dirt Night here on RaceSpot TV. Johan Hart takes a big win for Team Race Clutch, and he is getting his money's worth out of those four tires on that Ford Fiesta. Stilian Chipolewski, I think he was potentially in control in that feature race with the Joker strategy everyone else used, but unfortunately for him, Bobby Zielinski and some other traffic got backed up to him, and he was forced to take the Joker lap to clear traffic, and because of that, he was not able to build enough of a pace advantage to jump Johan. Otherwise, I think he may have been the favorite through the middle of that race. Pablo Castro's in 3rd, Graham Quinn 4th, and Sindre Setsas rounds out your top 5. Fabian Menetre, he's going to be in that 6th spot. Remy Dupont 7th, Bobby Zielinski in 8th, Connor Parisi 9th, and Tony Repussard, after being so strong in qualifying, Cam, putting that on the pole and finishing 2nd. Mistakes, unfortunately for him, ruined his night, and he rounds out at the end of the field.
Yeah, definitely not what he wanted to see there. We had a very clean start, the cleanest start I think we've had in a feature in a long while, and just still we did have some contact, and even through that, Tony ended up getting the worst of it. But I have to say it was a good race. We didn't see too much battling, but it was all about that pace around this Iowa Speedway, and boy did it show. I think Stilian had a chance. He certainly could have parked his car in the rear of that Ford, but I just don't think he wanted to race that way, and that is why Johan Hart is your winner.
And with that, post-race interviews and post-race coverage begins right now. Johan, I'm sure you're a happy camper. It's been a frustrating 11 weeks up until this point. Mitchell decided to go MIA to test a Coanda GT3 car at Bathurst for the season opener tomorrow, and that means you come away with a big win to take the end here of the series. How's it feel?
It feels really great. I was really not expecting that coming to the race, and to come with the win is quite a surprise, and I'm quite happy with that.
Now, talking about that, I mean, talking about this championship, 12 long seasons, how does it feel to finally get to the end of this thing and be so strong? We saw you in so many of the different series over the course of the championship, or so many different races, excuse me, over the course of this. Made a lot of the features, had some weeks where you struggled. What's your overarching kind of feel of the championship as a whole?
What can I say? It's been quite a long season, quite a difficult season, and it did not really start very well for me. I really struggled to qualify to feature, having several crashes, and the few last races I improved. I qualified pretty well, and that win is just a reward for the season.
Now, coming into next season, we have a couple interesting things for the Rallycross stuff. We know that we have the New layout at Sonoma, which is going to make things really interesting here. What are you expecting with that one? We have a bit of an idea of what the layout looks like from the teaser video, and of course, you know, just an entire new championship, some physics, some updates we're sure coming in the background as well. Some things that are make things interesting. What's your take going into next season?
For sure, I will race into GRC next season, but I really did not see what Sonoma looks like, so I cannot expect something from it. And yeah, I will try to maybe win the championship. I don't know. I don't know what can I say. I really don't know.
Well done this season, Johan. Congratulations on the win to round things out. Before we let you go, who would you like to thank? Who gets it done for you at Team Race Clutch?
I would like to thank Richard Lano, my team boss, also my teammates that was there to support me, such as Jawad that was racing tonight, or Thomas Gerstenberg that helped me a lot during the beginning of the season to set up the car. Yeah, I really thank the team for all they done.
Thanks once again, Johan. Good luck next
Thank
season
you guys.
in the Global Rallycross stuff.
See you later.
So Cam, an exciting final round here for the Red Bull stuff. It's been an exciting championship thus far. Now everyone has to start thinking World Championship qualifiers. That announced a while back that there's going to be a World Championship for this Global Rallycross stuff, and the qualifiers were announced using an interesting format, using the snake split format, which I know a lot of the NASCAR guys have been very, very big proponents for a long time, which is a very unique splitting system. It's going to divide a lot of the talent up. It's sort of awkward, and it puts incentive on winning races in order to get good points. It's going to be an interesting qualifying season, not only for the Rallycross cars, but for the sprints and late models. They're going to be following the same format.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, I have to say, with this qualifying season, that's going to completely form up what will be the future on RaceSpot TV is going to be these 3 World Championship Series. And we're going to be happy to bring that to you. I do have a tweet from Mitchell de Jong. Apparently he's getting ready with his Red Bull, of course, at 3 a.m. for tomorrow's wake up. He'll have to be up, and well, so that is what
he's practicing
doing,
for
so.
Blancpain. I've said that like
I know
5
we've said
times.
that. Yeah, I know we've said that like 5 times, but he posted a video of him. He's drinking his Red Bulls, and he's at his workstation, so he will be getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and we do actually have Stelian Chebovelsky.
We do indeed, and he stood by it with Mr. Cam Walsh.
Stelian Chebovelsky had the Volkswagen. You were the front finishing Volkswagen, but unfortunately that was not the winning position in the car. You had a great heat where you were able to jump on the last lap Joker, but unfortunately the main just didn't seem to work out. Take me through it. Stelian, hello. I'm not sure if he's got his microphone muted or not, or plugged in or whatnot, so hopefully he can get that sorted out. But Randy, it was, I have to say, at the very least, good to see finally a battle, I have to say, for the front, or even for a podium position. Normally up front, we always seem to have a bobble or an incident, so it was good to actually at least see a challenge.
Yeah, it was. So it was an interesting challenge out there up front. Like you said, the only race of the year where we've really had a fight for the race lead. We had the one earlier on when it was Nathan Lyon and Mitchell who had a little bit of a scrap for the race lead, and there's a couple times where first couple races going to be things were close early on, but after that Mitchell tended to check out. But this was the best race, I think, easily out in front, and the fact that everyone did a good job through the first couple corners. We still need to see, Cam, some patience be come to pick up. We still see people throwing silly dive bombs so early in the race, and I think that's what sort of has cost us so many good races in a lot of these broadcasts this week, because unfortunately for the Red Bull stuff, the races tend to get spread out, and really it comes off the back on, you know, tonight it was Graham Quinn trying to make it 4 wide into the second corner, just people doing silly and dumb things.
Yeah, and as you're seeing the results once again on your screen, you can see just the spread of all of the different cars here in the final. And I think it's one of these things that is just, it's going to be kind of a nature of the beast sort of thing. You're going to have to expect for at least there to be some consternation. I mean, you take a look at any real-life GRC race, and it is fairly similar, actually, kind of with surprising accuracy. And Hopefully, though, I mean, obviously these guys don't have to worry about car repairs or durability or stuff like that as far as mechanics goes, outside of the damage they directly do to their machine, but it does kind of lend to a bit of an elbow-out atmosphere, and as entertaining as that is to watch, at some point these guys are going to have to kind of pull it together. I think we had a pretty clean one today. There was only one car that got shoved off, and honestly, I thought it went fairly well, so hopefully we can continue that rolling through to next seasons. And hello, Stillian.
Oh, Stillian, he's making the Randy Chenowth mistake and coughing on air. Stillian, you hear us?
I don't think he can hear us. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, I think it is, as not quite sure what the issue is there, but that was definitely the cough of a Volkswagen Apex driver right there, so unfortunate for us
there you
just
go.
A little bit.
The interview.
Yep, unfortunate there. Let's see if we'll try one more time. Stillian, do you have us?
Ты чуваш в TeamSpeak?
I'm not.
Well, I mean, I can hear him.
I can hear him, but I can't understand. Stillian, can you hear us?
No.
Well, that definitely wasn't English either, or I'm having a stroke.
Man.
But
no, you said something about TeamSpeak, and then
I understood that part of it. I understood the one English word in that sentence.
What we're doing for folks at home, we're actually actively just unplugging and plugging in as many cords as we possibly can.
That's basically what's happening.
That's what's happening. So, I did see he muted and unmuted his microphone. We can give him one more shot. Do you want to give him one more shot? What do you say, folks?
YOLO.
We give him one more shot. All right, yeah. This is the last thing of the season. Come on,
Stillian, you got us. That's a no.
No. All right. Well, that's it on that bombshell, Randy.
Yeah, that is, I think, going to bring us to the end of the final first leg of Friday Night Dirt Night here on RaceSpot TV and iRacingLive. As well, the Rallycross cars here were pretty awesome, but now we need to get to the world of Outlaw, Craftsman, late model, and sprint car series as leg number 2 and 3. There's some interesting build updates for those that we will talk about when we get to it, so do not go away. We're going to go join the Pennsylvania posse. The world of Outlaw, Craftsman late model series hits Williams Grove.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinsler. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from ninth leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun. Where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there. Where sprint cars, you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, I mean, as a rookie on there, you know, in the legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, you know, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and, you know, all the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to like K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time, I would race iRacing all the time to, you know, learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now. So I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time because I don't win a lot. So it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that and get beat by Logan Seavey every time I run a sprint car. So the level of competition on iRacing is better than real life. I mean, you've got thousands of drivers on there that, you know, a lot of them are probably better than the people you see on TV. They just haven't had the opportunities to make it, but can kick butt on there, and you can spend all day long running thousands of laps a day, so you can get yourself, you know, really good at it. So competition level is just unbelievable, really, on there. I mean, everybody's been asking for dirt on there for forever. So when they announced it, I got really, really excited. And honestly, it's blown my expectations away. The cars, to me, drive really good when the track's hooked up. The visual part of the racetrack changing is amazing. How you can run some laps and see it start to get shiny, and then you feel it getting, you know, slick. You know, areas of the racetrack getting dirty, and then, you know, you get some cars run through there and it cleans off and gets grip back. It's nuts. You know, the tear-off feature is really cool. You know, watching the wing move backwards and forwards. I run with the virtual reality headset too, so being able to like look down and see everything, it looks extremely realistic. So yeah, it blew my expectations away. And it's only gonna get better, really.
When I was 16 years old, I was working in a Goodyear tire store, and my boss actually built an old dirt car, street stock Monte Carlo. Went with him one night, fell in love with it. It was a hell of a race, hell of a party, and a big fight afterwards. I was like, this is it. This is it for me. It wasn't long after that, I was driving an old 78 Camaro out of the weeds at that guy's farm. We pulled that thing out and made a race car out of it, and away we went. You know, I think a driver has more to do with the equation going back and racing dirt, whether it's a modified, a late model. You can do more with the race car. You know, the harder you drive it, a lot of times, the better it goes. You can crawl up on that wheel and feel like you made the difference at the end of the night. Asphalt car, you can't overdrive them. Well, that was the first thing that I had to learn right off the bat is, oh my gosh, I've got to discipline myself, not overdrive this thing, and that's how you get the most out of it. Truth be told, communicating the right information to your crew and your crew chief so they can do their job and make their appropriate adjustments for you to go faster and do your job is probably 90% of the game in our world. I've always loved late models. You know, my dream was to be a late model driver driving for a living across the country like Daryl and Don do that drive for me. I mean, that was, truth be told, that was my dream, you know. I always wanted a semi. I always wanted a stacker trailer with 2 hot rods in it, and let's go racing. Let's take off with your buddies and go race and chase that dream. Never in a million years did I think it would turn into a Cup Series, and I actually have an opportunity to own 2 you know, dirt late model teams. When you think of iRacing, you don't think of a video game. It's not. It's way above and beyond any of that. You know, dirt racing changes so much. The track changes so much. Being able to capture that, to, you know, experience all those details that surround dirt racing and make dirt racing what it is what makes iRacing so cool, because they did nail all of that. I knew when they came to our shop and scanned cars and went to the detail of getting that car right, I knew that it was going to be over the top, because it blew my mind just the work that went into making sure the car itself was legit. This sport has been around a long time. The competition can't be replaced, and that's what brings people back to the racetrack week in and week out.
Coverage continuing here on iRacing Live and RaceSpot TV. You are looking live down here in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Williams Grove Speedway pays home to the final round of the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car, Craftsman late models.
Oh, come on, Cam, you can't do the curve and then screw it up like that. You're fired.
All right. How about one more time? Let's get it up one more time. You're gonna watch the World of Outlaws Craftsman Super Late Model Series live here at the Mechanicsburg, PA. All right, let's go straight to qualifying. Tyler Hudson is here, and we'll keep along with him. That's the number 8 machine as he goes around this circuit. Randy, it's a half-mile paperclip. Your favorite?
Yeah, paperclip. I love this place in the sprint cars. I'm not much of a late model guy. I think anyone who knows me knows that. Very much an open wheel driver. Is well, once upon a time NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series champion. Well, he decides to call it quick in 1 and 2, so he's gonna have to find some way somehow to be quick here. A couple of other drivers still out there on qualifying. Let's see what kind of interesting names we have out there tonight. Howard Weaver, he's in here in this one as Satoru Ono, Mr. Man from Japan. He puts in the first quick time of a 20.3. He was actually pretty impressive a while back, Cam, in these late models, and we just need to see if he can be aggressive once again as Jacob Fields goes through in a 19.7.
Saw him in the ADS 2 weeks ago, I believe, and he did very well there. I believe he was the last man out for the last transfer spot, if I'm remembering correctly. He puts in his lap times. However, Jacob Fields climbs to the top of the boards. It's a 19.781, and he's immediately knocked off by Justin Norwood, and he's immediately knocked off by Mr. Hudson himself, Tyler Hudson, putting in a 19.718.
A lot of very, very quick times up near the front of the field. 7.18 for Tyler after that mistake in 1 and 2. 7.24 for Norwood. 7.54 for Hauser. 7.81 for Jacob Fields. So the top 4 very competitive. They start to fall down to the 8s. When they get to the mid-pack stuff, Josh Phillips, Luke Counting, Jordan Wesley, Howard Weaver, and Drew Hershko, they still owe us times. And Tomato Man in that number 2 VLR machine, he takes his first hot lap here in towards 1 and 2. So what is Howard Weaver going to be able to do? And he plows the wall.
And yeah, Howard Weaver certainly not having a good time either. So difficulties here at Williams Grove. And Randy, I think I can understand why. It's not necessarily what you would consider a late model circuit. You got a lot of the turning off throttle management. You're trying to get your slide angle right. You're trying to get the throttle bite point correct for that right rear. And it's difficult, frankly.
Yeah, it is indeed. As Howard's going to try to get in another qualifying time, I don't think he's going to be able to do so. You have 3 minutes. Get in your 2 qualifying laps in the dirt oval content on iRacing, and well, only 18 seconds left, and he's not even gotten to the start finish. So Howard is going to have to start it from the back of the field, and that number 2 machine not going to be happy about that at all.
10 seconds. He's got 10 seconds. Let's see. He's got 5.
Cam,
4,
10 is less than 20.
Oh, he's on the backstretch right now. Oh man, I got that backwards. Oh, that's a bummer. I thought he was gonna get it at the line. He got it to the blue thing at the line. So it's
I just want to make sure it's on the record that Cam doesn't know the difference between the front stretch and back stretch.
Nope, I only can tell by the blue bridge, and I only see the blue bridge halfway down the racetrack. So, with that, let us go to the final time that we will look at heat number 1. Williams Grove has played part to a couple of races here, and the first one was not good. The second one was outstanding. Will we find ourselves cozy in the middle? We'll have to find out. Heat number 1 as it stands, Tyler Hudson. He's got his 19.718. He is happy there. Dylan Hauser, Alex Bergeron, Drew Hirschko, Jordan Wesley, Lucas Chowning, J.D. Brown, and then there is Howard Weaver, Randy, starting last in the heat.
He's not going to be too happy about that. I have to say, though, Cam, that, well, of all the nights to mess up a qualifying time like that, this is going to be sort of a good way to do it, because if you look, only about, I think, 15 cars are actually in this split. We did split at an unfortunate number, so we're not really going to lose anybody in those heat races. And, of course, we're not going to have a last chance qualifier either. So everyone's going to make the main, as Howard's messaging me on Facebook, and he's still stationary on that front straightaway, and now he stopped.
And put the phone down. There he goes. The car's moving, so tweeting.
Implying he didn't alt-tab.
Yeah, and tweeting from the racing car as not very good. He's gonna. What did he say, Randy? What did he actually say? Come on.
I can't say it on air.
Oh boy. Well, I will simply then say for him, he probably said, I am going to go for first position safely and hopefully have speed and not hit anybody. I'm sure that is exactly what he said, right?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
All right, so with that, we have our truck driver here today once again. Our official pace truck has been with us all throughout the dirt seasons, as our driver happily drives his machine around. Hopefully not going to be coming out tonight for the feature event, as we get ourselves ready here at Williams Grove for some car action. We've got 8 cars, super late models on the docket. Heat number 1 getting ready to take the green, and staying right behind the pace car is Tyler Hudson. Normally, guys drop off the back, especially here at Williams Grove, just to distance themselves. You actually see Dylan Hauser. He's basically alongside third position rather than second, and here we go. Pace truck is in. Hudson letting it roll. 3 Mississippi count for the number 8 machine as Tyler Hudson brings us to the green for the first time here in the world. Outlaws late model cars. My goodness.
Cam, come on. This is third time we got a car around in the back. Number 9 machine of Jordan Wesley. Number of other cars get their way through, though. J.D. Brown is through. Weaver is through with picking up a couple of these spots. And you have Drew Hirschko and Lucas Chowning. Hirschko in that black and teal machine, which I believe you have Max Speed TV logos on the front of that, and he's going to roll in towards 1 and 2 once again. 2 machine of Howard Weaver already trying to work through this traffic. He's inside that 5 car, not quite able to get there. Hudson still has about a 1 mile advantage over the likes of Bergeron and Hauser.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Jordan Wesley was able to get his vehicle around. It's half a stretch for Hudson to Bergeron, but the lap times are very close, as Hauser is all over the rear of Alex Bergeron. We looked at the replay there at the start. You could see they just bunched up, and that's exactly what we're worried about, Randy, is these guys bunching up at the start and having an accident going into 1.
Yeah, that's really the big thing, is Howard is still working the back of Drew Hirschko, not doing a good job pace-wise, trying to keep up with him. 8 laps, of course, in these heat races, and, well, going to be cross flags once they get to the starter stand on this one, down this back straightaway for lap number 4 of 8 in heat race number 1, and everyone's going to throw it in towards 1 and 2. Once again, Hudson still running away from the field. 19.9 last time through. 19.9 for a lot of your field last time through. Howard and little trio he's in, Lucas Chowning, Hirschko, and himself, they're down in the 20.1s this time through. As I think right now, Howard is trying to some way, somehow, to find a way around here. But it's a very tacky Williams Grove right now, Cam. And when you see tacky racetracks in the late model, especially like this, you tend to get single groove racing, because one line is going to be hooked up, the other one not so much.
Yeah, 2,200 pounds, tons of horsepower, more horsepower than you can possibly imagine. Put down to those right rear of that machine, and
so that to the NHRA.
Let this track, yeah, right. We'll let the NHRA go down the straights. We'll let these guys go around the circle, but the track is going to fall away at some point, and it will. That outside line will end up coming into play, as here comes Tyler Hudson to take the white flag as he goes under the bridge, as we are getting ready to close out heat number 1. I have to say, the inside line will yield, as we've seen before, especially if we get a good green flag run going. This is going to be a 40-lap feature. Expect this track to get very worn in. Look at how worn in it already is after just 1 heat race. As Tyler Hudson, he'll kick it the rear 1 final time, and he's going to bring himself to victory for heat number 1, the final heat number 1 of the season. Alex Bergeron will finish second. Dylan Hauser will finish in the 3rd position. Then we'll go to Lucas Chowning, Drew Hitchko, then Howard Weaver, then J.D. Brown. Not a bad heat 1, but we did have that worrisome incident going into 1.
Yeah, a little bit of a worrisome incident, but after that, really a relatively clean first heat race as Wesley is going to cycle through in that 8th spot. Everyone will be transferring to the feature tonight, so he won't have to worry. His heat race number 2 is going to be getting at us in just a moment, and well, it's an interesting heat race number 2 as well, as really I have all my eyes on that number 13. Well, all my eyes on, implying I have more than 2 on that number 13 machine starting in the back.
Yeah, lap times weren't that good, perhaps not comfortable here at Williams Grove, perhaps not set up for the temperature. It is 65 degrees Fahrenheit, track temperature 65 degrees. We are racing under the lights as always. Let's take a look at these 7 cars that are going to be taking the green flag. It is the number 6 machine of Justin Norwood. Jacob Fields is going to be starting his outside. Virgil Graham, Tyler Ducharme, Josh Phillips, John Lopresto, and then you've got Satoru Ono, the Japanese driver. So just looking at it, we do have the one driver from the Asia Club. The rest are all American, minus Alex Bergeron, of course, the Canadian. So no Fear of the Roo, no nothing like that here in the late models, but that is always, Randy, more of a sprint car thing.
Yep, the Aussie guys really do like to flock to the sprint cars. I think late model racing in general not really a thing over in that part of the world. That's not to say that it's not a thing, but it hasn't taken on. Open wheel racing that we traditionally have in the U.S., that's what's really caught hold there, especially with the wing sprint cars. That's where there's a lot of people really run, and a lot of guys have transferred from that part of the world. Kerry Madsen, of course, one of the most prolific, I think everyone might know, the Madman. Very, very quick in the wing cars as they get to 1 to go signal, and Justin Norwood will be bringing us to the green for heat race number 2 in just a moment.
Yeah, and of course we do have an Australian in the Super Dirt Car Series, Peter Britt. So anyways, Justin Norwood is going to be taking the green flag for heat number 2 here on iRacingLive and RaceSpot TV, going under the bridge as we get ourselves ready to rumble here at Williams Grove. It's the paper clip. That has been a troublesome thing for these super late model machines. Let's see how heat number 2 can handle as Justin Norwood gives it a 2 Mississippi count before he lets go. He's got the whole shot.
He does. Justin Norwood manages the gap into 1 and 2 for the first time. Up to the top, though, goes that 3 machine of Jacob Fields, and that's going to cause a bit of issues as Virgil Graham gets a big, big run there in that black and green Team Friday car. Big slide from the 4 in 3 and 4. Got it very sideways to try to hook the bottom. Didn't do a good job of it, and because of that, Jacob Fields going to hold on to second. They're side by side, though, between Tyler Ducharme as well as Josh Phillips as they fight through 1 and 2. The 14 and the 13, meanwhile, they're still chilling out there in the back. That's Lopresto and Ono.
And Justin Norwood is pulling away with speed. He clips the inside pit wall, however, he can't do that too often, as we've got to be very careful. You can definitely throw the car into that barrier as Jacob Fields trying to hunt him down, but Justin Norwood will not be denied 19.9. He's the only driver on the track to hit the 19s that last lap here of this 8-lap feature event. So it is Norwood, Fields, Graham, Phillips, Ducharme, Presto, and then Ono. So good running all the way around. We haven't seen anyone spin or get tossed out, Randy, and that's a good thing. These guys are setting themselves up for the long haul. They just want to see what the track's like.
That's a pretty clean heat race number 2, isn't it? We haven't seen very many issues, but not a lot of close racing here at this point. Things have gotten themselves relatively spread out. That said, there's an exception to that rule as they take the cross flags under the starter stand. That's the number 11 of Josh Phillips, still fighting with Tyler Ducharme as they come off of corner number 2. As I say that 11 machine stretches a little bit of a gap there over Tyler, and now he gets a little bit wide in the corner, so we're already seeing Cam, that bottom groove, start to go away, and people are sort of exploring lines a little bit. Some people are down along the bottom, but there's a number of cars that are starting to slide up to the middle of the racetrack rather than keeping it pinned down low along the fence.
Fastest lap in heat number 1 was Tyler Hudson with a 19.815. Fastest lap for Justin Norwood is a 19.915. So that should tell you how the track is progressing. Justin Norwood is even into the 20s now. As everybody's hitting the 20s, the track is starting to shift as we are going to be coming to the white flag, this time by Justin Norwood. He has led every lap. He managed to get the good shot And this is the interesting thing, that both the victors, as long as Justin doesn't have an incident on his way as he's picked up the white, both of the winners have done a Mississippi start. They have waited second after second after second to get these things started. Now, we have seen as Justin Norwood comes off of corner number 4, he will take victory in heat number 2 at Williams Grove, and that sets us up for the final. And to make my point, we have seen time and time again, Randy, that sometimes the restarts here at Williams Grove gets accordioned, it gets stacked, and in one instance, it goes crazy.
Yeah, well, we don't have the likes of Chase and Alex here, so I think we'll be all right. But it's going to be an interesting one as getting ready to go down the field, and let's see if the camerisms, such as Mississippi starts, and either way continue.
All right, with that, we have got the music. We are waiting on the fireworks. As you can see, our iRacing official pace truck. Look at the field there. All right, let's go through it. It is Tyler D. Hudson taking us to the green flag. Justin Norwood starting his outside. Alex Bergeron will be starting in third. There you go. There's your fireworks for the final time, ladies and gentlemen. Jacob Fields starting outside, Alex Bergeron. Then you've got Dylan Hauser, Virgil Graham, Lucas Chowning, Josh Phillips, Drew Hirschko, Tyler DeJarmy, Howard Weaver starting way in the back from the 11th position. How far will he climb? John Lopresto, J.D. Brown, Centuriono, and then Jordan Wesley. Your 15th starter here at Williams Grove, Mechanicsburg, PA. Get loud. We are here live on iRacing Live and RaceSpot TV as the trucks are rolling for the World of Outlaws Craftsman Super Late Model Series, as we have got a good one here today. Will Tyler Hudson run away with it? Will Justin Norwood have anything for him? And where is Alex Bergeron going to fit in all this? Stick around. We'll figure all that out, and then afterwards we'll go play with some sprint cars. And Randy, I'm pretty excited about this one. It's a good finale here at Williams Grove.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I have my eyes there on Howard Weaver because through into our chat that the way he's going to describe his approach to this race is, well, from World of Warcraft, be well aware of this means. So look out for the let's do this Leroy Weaver as he tries to work his way through the field.
Kid me not. I don't want a caution-filled race.
Yeah, well, at least I have chicken.
Anyways, so the pace truck for the final time in the late models is going to be bringing this around. So the pace truck driver, whomever you are, thank you for everything you've done for us. Hopefully we won't see you again. But if we do, well, we'll be back. But either way, hopefully for the last time, we will see our iRacing official pace truck driver, fingers crossed. Tyler Hudson is going to be starting. Justin Norwood, his outside. Both held counts. Tyler Hudson held it for about 3 seconds, Norwood for about 2. So where will they start? And Hudson started way outside, don't forget. That might take some of these guys by surprise. And Alex Bergeron, the very excitable starter, might take that as an opportunity to run inside. Bergeron already hustling as they are getting ready. They've stacked up here, 1, 2, and there's your 3 count, and Tyler Hudson lets it loose. We are green for the final time here on iRacing Live, RaceSpot TV. They're going into 1.
What a jump from Alex Bergeron. He takes the second spot away from Justin Norwood and begins hunting down that number 8 car of Tyler Hudson into 3 and 4. Tyler still looks comfortable on the bottom. You see him slide up to the middle of the racetrack, and yellow flies.
Josh Phillips. It is Joshua Phillips. Did he have some help
there's secondary incident on the front straight. A lot of cars around.
Everyone, what, they stacked themselves up trying to hold up for the pace car? Oh, I see what had happened. Oh, they were slowing themselves down, and with these cars, you can't really just slow down. Bergeron got on the brakes as soon as he exited the corner, and everybody kind of piled up on him. Justin Norwood came through. Looks to me like a lot of people touched, but not a lot of damage got spread around. Looked a lot worse than it was.
Yeah, it did. When I sort of looked at it, there's a big pile up, and then as I said, there's a lot of cars around. Everyone sort of got it back and running forward. So I think, fortunately, unless through that 11
the caution
machine
was out. So yeah, I think, everyone gets their positions back.
Yeah, well, I think fortunately, Cam, the thing is that the only car we have with major incidents or issues or damage is going to be that number 11 machine to Josh Phillips, who gave that access wall a big smack down the back straightaway.
He certainly did say, hello, how are you? John Lopresto is going to be coming into pit lane, perhaps, to get some work done. I don't see anything actually wrong with his machine, but we still have lights on the pace truck, so we've got at least another couple of trips around this racing circuit, as here comes Dylan Hauser on the outside. So it looks to me, at least, like it's going to be Tyler Hudson, Alex Bergeron, Justin Norwood, Dylan Hauser, Virgil Graham, Jacob Fields, Lucas Chowning, Drew Hirschko, Howard Weaver, Tyler Descharme, J.D. Brown, Sateri Ono, and then Jordan Wesley. And then 2 cars in pit lane. One is John Lepresto, who I believe they might be crab walking, or that's just a late model on pavement. Who knows? And then Josh Phillips. So lights should go out this time, Randy.
Yeah, I think you're right. Lights are going to go out as we get the field to stack back up, and Tyler Hudson looked really strong. Alex Bergeron did a phenomenal job on the restart, or on the start of this thing, so let's see if he can do that again and really time the jump and keep Tyler Hudson honest over this one and not let him just scamper away.
So for the final time, for the second time, the pace truck will pull into the safety of pit lane as we will get ready to go green. Tyler Hudson leading the field here. He's led every lap, and we will see just how this unfolds. He's giving a little bit more gap here, and he's got to be careful.
Cam, they're green. I'm sorry. They're in the 1 and 2. Tyler taking this race lead as Alex has a big margin here, and it's going to be that 6 car, Justin Norwood, who's trying to slot in the 3rd spot. 4th and 5th, Virgil Graham and Dylan Hauser. They're going to be side by side. Hauser isolated up to the top side, and he's going to get freight trained.
Yeah, well, the replay looked good at least, but it looks much better when it's live. Anyways, Alex Bergeron now covering over Justin Norwood very well as he pinched him a little low, and here comes Norwood. He wants to take a bite going on the inside. He'll think better of it. This is allowing Tyler Hudson to run away with it. As Alex Bergeron, he has got Justin Norwood all over the rear. Virgil Graham wants some of this action as well, Randy. And Tyler Hudson, he is happy to see this. Well, he can't see it at all because he doesn't run a mirror, but were he to, he would see that he is going to be getting a gap lap after lap.
Yeah, that's really the big thing. 1 second is the advantage right now for that 8 car. Right now, if you're Alex Bergeron, I know you want to be aggressive. Alex is very aggressive, and he wants to hold on to that race lead, but that race leader is just getting away. So if the likes of Norwood, Graham, Fields, those trainer drivers behind them feel like they're quicker, they're going to start throwing some aggressive moves on Alex. So might be the better part of valor to somewhat let one of those 2 cars around, or a handful of those cars around, before you get down into too late in this, as they work themselves onto the start of lap number 9 and towards 1 and 2 once again. Norwood is running up to the middle as you still see Bergeron really trying to diamond it off here and get an early apex at the entry, and then slinging out wide through the middle.
Yeah, and it looks to me like we've got a good green flag run here as we're going to be lapping off 1/4 of this race. That is it. We are done with 1/4 of the final race of the season here on iRacing Dirt Night for the iRacing Super Late Model cars, as Alex Bergeron, he holds a steady second over Justin Norwood. Norwood trying high side. He wants to see if he can point and squirt. We've got a yellow out as there's a 1 car around. It's Lucas Chowning, the number 10 machine.
Yeah, number 10 car went around here, and what actually happened, he made a bit of a mistake, I think, coming off 2. He got into the 7 car of Dylan Hauser coming off 2, had to do a big checkup, and unfortunately, Howard Weaver really didn't have anywhere to go. There's just such a big speed advantage. The 10 car is sort of just, he kind of half spun and then tried to get it back around, and then you're right, he got into that pit exit wall again. I don't think we've seen anyone actually hit that wall for as long as we've been doing the World of Outlaw content, even when it was just the sprint cars. I don't think we ever saw anyone hit that sort of junction on the right-hand side, which I'll be honest, it sort of always scared me, both in the sim and in the real world, just the way it is. That is not a fun wall to hit, I am sure. But regardless, Tyler Hudson feels going to get stacked back up for him, and I think he's going to be not too nervous given the fact that he's had a huge advantage every time we've gone green.
Yeah, but Alex Bergeron now has been either directly behind him or starting right next to him, and I think he might start getting his number because he held it about 3 seconds both times. And he held it a little shorter the second time, but now on this 3rd time, I expect him to hold it a little shorter, even more so. So it should be about a full 2 count rather than a 3 or a 2.5. as he did before. So this is how it's going to look. It's going to be Tyler Hudson. He has been your leader after the 1st quarter of this race. Alex Bergeron, he is your 2nd position car, but he's been hounded by Justin Norwood, Virgil Graham, Jacob Fields. And Howard Weaver has moved himself up from 11th to the 7th position. and the rest of the field is as follows. So lights are out on the pace truck here at Williams Grove Speedway. So hopefully for the last time, for the third time, our pace truck driver will pull to the safety of pit lane, and we will say goodbye to him for hopefully the rest of the season. We get a good green flag running here. We have only got 37 laps to go. No, that wouldn't be any sense. 27 laps to go here in the iRacing Super Late Models. And let's see, when will Tyler Hudson go? Pace truck is in way wide line there, and he will kick it off as soon as he hits the apex to 3. And there we go. There's your whole shot, and Alex Bergeron's gotten away. We're green here at Williams Grove.
They've been going pretty early, and no one's really seemed to have gotten the number here as they're all fighting for position. I think it's the 4 car gets isolated up to the top side. Jacob Fields going to take that spot away from him. Howard Weaver, he's found his way through this field, and I believe has sorted himself up into 5th. That 2 machine is moving, and he's looking very quick right now, and he's now going to set his sights on Virgil Graham, who's been struggling.
And Virgil Graham hasn't had time to flex his legs. He's been stuck behind either Jacob Fields or Justin Norwood as Fields had gotten around him. As the caution is out once again for John Lepresto. And I believe this was a this was a spin. I believe Lepresto got piked up there. As you're watching it on your screens, yeah, he piked up, caught traction.
He did that to himself.
He got nipped. Yeah, and he just went a little too far out of the line and then found himself getting nipped. And frankly, I don't see why he threw the yellow.
Yeah, it's one of those fatal flaws that I see a lot of the dirt racers make. They mess up one of the corners and get out of the groove, and they try to scamper right back into it, even when they know that there's competition close to them, and they end up hooking themselves. So while it might look like that Satoru's the one who sent him around, I'd have to say that 14, he spun himself on Satoru's nose.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate again here as we are under the yellow flag. You're riding on board with Jacob Fields. You can see the giant radiator and the dirt screen and all that other stuff. But I think for me, we have seen fairly clean racing, haven't had a big incident, haven't had a big stack up, but as the race goes on, Randy, it's only going to get tougher. People are only going to get their elbows out. They're only going to get more antsy. That's kind of the worry.
That really is a big thing, isn't it? The deeper we get into this thing, people are going to get more aggressive, but they need to get aggressive on these starts, Cam, because right now, if you're Alex Bergeron, Norwood, Fields, honestly, Hudson hasn't done a good job of really shaking up when he goes. He kind of goes in the middle of 3 and 4 every single time he has the opportunity, pretty much about 2 or 3 seconds, like you sort of have said, after that pit truck comes down on towards pit road. He's been in the same little box ever since his first heat race. So no one's picked up on that yet, and because of that, they're giving him a big advantage. I think these guys need to get a little bit more prediction happy and start trying to time that number 8 machine's jumps and then really harass him into 1 and 2.
Here we go.
As
one car is almost spun around, but they've got it sorted out. So it doesn't do anything for the tires, boys. It doesn't make them any hotter. So the pace truck getting ready to pull in for the last time, for the 4th time. As we say goodbye to our good friend, the pace truck driver, because hopefully we'll have green for the rest of the season, etc., etc. Tyler Hudson, get ready to go. Alex Bergeron's tried to jump him twice. He wasn't able to get it. He didn't even get the car sideways. That means that Tyler Hudson gets a run, but even more important, Justin Norwood's got a run going into 1.
Justin Norwood had a run, but he had to lift out of it. He almost smacked that inside wall. They're going to be 2 by 2 through 1 and 2. Alex Bergeron takes the 2nd spot. Weaver gets a little bit of tap, I think, from the 15 of Tyler DeCarm, and they're still going to be side by side in towards 3 and 4. Who said you can't have good racing here at the Grove? As Weaver's going to get freight trained up on the top, and he's not going to be happy about that.
No, Hudson's away. Bergeron's hounded by Norwood. Norwood's hounded by Fields. Fields is hounded by Graham, and then you get into the party. It's Dylan Hauser outside, inside, Howard Weaver outside. As they're working their way through to 3 to 4. Now Tyler Descharmy is running high, and he is running high line. Jordan Wesley is there as well. One car getting nipped. That's Drew Hirschko. They're splitting themselves up as they're running finally single file now, but it looks to me like Howard Weaver, he is trying everything he can to get his way up there, and Justin Norwood's working outside Jacob Fields, or Jacob Fields working inside Justin Norwood. He's shoved him outside line. Here we go.
That's an aggressive move there by that number 3 machine, but that's what you have to do here at the Grove. It's relatively single file tonight, not really seeing that bottom groove go away. Norwood is going to continue to get freight train. The 2 machine is going to get through as well. I take that back. He'll be side by side and have the preferred line down low. So can Howard Weaver make that stick down there? Norwood's going to try to work the momentum up top, and Howard not quite as hooked up on the bottom. That 6 car has a run.
Yeah, and Alex Bergeron, I'm just waiting for him to get nipped by Jacob Fields going into 1 and 2. He doesn't seem to have the speed to go into it in 3 and 4 as he runs high side, as Alex Bergeron runs defensive, but it's only a matter of time because I think the point and squirt method, the chucking it into 3 and then pinning it on the apex of 3-4 is starting to come in now, even though 1 and 2 is still slow. You've always been able to carry more speed into 1 and 2, but you're always better, your point and squirt comes into play more in 3 and 4 as the track wears in. We're on lap 24. We're past halfway here at Williams Grove.
Past halfway indeed, in towards 1 and 2 as Hudson has a big lead once again, 1.7 seconds as Bergeron still dealing with Jacob Fields, who's going to get a big run on the bottom, and well, that Fusion sponsored car is going to try, well, Fusion labeled car I think is right, is going to try to work a run into 3 and 4, not quite able to do it as that bottom groove is continuing to go away, and everyone's trying to get a little bit crafty with their lines. There's basically, the bottom is the way to go, but there's about 3 or 4 different ways you can run it at the moment, and there's a little bit of contact behind. I think that was Virgil Graham and Justin Norwood maybe got a slight touch.
And I am just waiting for Fields to do something because he's going to have to do it quick. He's going to have 14 to go here at the line. He's going to have to chuck it to the inside or not because he's just getting stuck behind, I believe. They ran a 24.06, both of them, to the dot between Alex Bergeron and Jacob Fields. And I think for me, for Tyler Hudson, he is running a fantastic race. That number 8 machine he's pulled away, he is still putting in faster lap times as he has got open track. Jacob Fields and Bergeron, he's gotten around. Bergeron has yielded second position to Jacob Fields.
It happened last time in towards corner number 3. Jacob Fields, he didn't get into it. Sounded like there was contact. They both sort of scraped the outside wall with that right rear body panel, and Bergeron just overcooked turn number 3 and then basically opened the door wide open for Jacob Fields to step through, and the 3 car said, I'm not going to hesitate at all. Thank you very much. And they head down the back straight once again.
Now, will he have time to catch? I don't believe so. The only way that this is going to get caught up for Jacob Fields is to have a caution, which hopefully we will avoid as Tyler Hudson rolls it through 1 and 2 once again. The point and squirt, you're seeing it starting to come into play here as they roll through corners 1 and 2, and you get off the throttle. You wait until the car runs out of traction to the outside line, then he pins it. So Tyler Hudson, he has got the track in hand, and Jacob Fields, his lap times are similar, but it is not the same as it is Hudson, Fields, Bergeron, Graham. Graham is all over Bergeron.
That he is. Bergeron is really kind of struggling out there. He's sort of, I don't want to say lucked his way out there to the front, but he's been relatively fortunate to get himself out there, and I think he's just fast enough to make things really difficult here. He's held on to this 3rd place now, and Virgil, I think, is going to throw a move. Howard's done a good job as well to get himself up to that 6th spot, and he just hasn't been able to get through much of these fields. There's a handful of guys kind of just hanging on here as we are inside 10 to go.
8 to go even as Tyler Hudson is running it away as Jacob Fields running 2nd position. Alex Bergeron is running 3rd. Virgil Graham is running out of time. Howard Weaver, he has run out of steam as he is getting hounded by Tyler Ducharme. Ducharme is running outside as Justin Norwood, he is coming through. As it looks to me like the big battle is basically going to be between Bergeron and Graham to decide who's going to finish in 3rd. Everyone else seems pretty comfy where they are.
Yeah, everyone's really comfortable, kind of sort of just settled in, to be honest. There's a lot of just a little bit of a space between a lot of these cars. No one really quick enough to reel anyone in, not a big enough advantage. It really is just the fight between Bergeron and Graham. Jacob Fields is scampered away in that 2nd spot. Of course, Tyler Hudson, well, he's already planning for the next season, Cam, in week 1, wherever that's going to be in these late models, because this race is pretty much done and in the books for him as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Tyler Ducharme was able to pull a beautiful over-under going into 3 and 4 on Howard Weaver. So now Tyler Ducharme has gotten around Howard Weaver that last lap. So with 5 to go, Howard Weaver's got to try to figure out how to reclaim the 5th position here. And Virgil Graham, he is just hanging ever closer. That number 4 machine, he is haunting that VLR driver of Alex Bergeron. When will he make the move? Jacob Fields running high outside as the cars, you can just watch them from a zoomed out angle. If you watch these cars, just how much they're chucking the car. They are off throttle almost the entire corner before they finally get on the throttle, and it's impressive how these drivers are able to adapt and how worn in this racetrack is, Randy.
Yeah, racetrack has really gone here down on the inside. They're in the closing stages, and people are lifting it way off the throttle and rolling with it off throttle for a lot longer than they were at the start of this one. For example, Tyler Hudson last lap through 20.3. Look at the qualifying time for him, 19.7. So a considerable amount of the lap time has been lost. There's going to be popsicle sticks in the air for Hudson across the time beam right now. 2 to go into 1 and 2 for him with a 4-second advantage. I'm not sure if Jacob Fields is going to be able to catch him.
I don't think he's going to be able to do anything about him. It's a full backstretch, and I can tell because I can see the blue bridge. So Tyler Hudson, he will be picking up the white flag, the white and yellow machine of Tyler Hudson. Will be coming through with that ADA sign machine. Will be clipping the front barrier just a hair as Tyler Hudson brings himself through. One last lap for Virgil Graham on Alex Bergeron. We'll keep an eye on that. But however, to close out the first season that we broadcast here on iRacingLive and RaceSpot TV, these super late models, it is Tyler Hudson with the victory. Jacob Fields will come home in 2nd position. Alex Bergeron will come home 3rd. Virgil Graham 4th. Justin Norwood 5th. And that is your top 5 that has come across the line. Tyler Hudson takes the feature.
Now, what a run from Tyler. Complete and utter domination. We've seen a lot of these guys can be quick and be competitive, but really there's no other way to say it. Tyler just showed him how to run quick, and maybe showed that some of these guys need to get learned.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tyler Hudson, will he throw the donuts? He's looking for a spot for it. Hey, maybe he can tap that that outside wall there. No, yeah, there we go, as he will give it a spin. So Tyler Hudson throws it around once, throws it around twice, 3 times. And with that, let's take a look at your finishing order here from Williams Grove Speedway. 17 minutes and 5 seconds for cautions, and we have a winner. Tyler Hudson, he started first, finished first. That's to this day. Jacob Fields comes home 2nd position. Alex Bergeron in 3rd. Virgil Graham comes home in the 4th position. Justin Norwood comes home in 5th. Tyler Ducharme does get that position over Howard Weaver. He will finish 6th. Howard Weaver will finish in the 7th position. Jordan Wesley will finish 8th. Lucas Chowning in 9th. Drew Hirschko in 10th. Santariono will finish in the 11th position. John Lopresto will finish 12th. Dylan Hauser will finish 13th. J.D. Brown, then Josh Phillips, your retirees. So with that, we'll see who we can pull into the channel here and who wants an interview. There's Tyler Hudson. And I believe that we can see if we're going to talk to Hudson in just a few moments' time. But before we do that, let's take a look here at the overall race. I got to say, it has been a good one. And I think we got exactly what we wanted to see. The track usage was there. The race was there. And Randy, I believe we have Hudson.
Yes, we do, as I type out a message in the TeamSpeak at an awkward time.
Okay.
And we are joined by that race winner of Tyler Hudson. And Tyler, we have seen a number of these drivers be dominant in these late models. And then you just randomly show up a couple times a season and show them what real speed really looks like. How are you so hooked up tonight in the 8?
Man, dude, that car was wicked fast. Like you said, I've ran a few of these, and they've all been like really hard to win. I mean, really close battles or whatever. And my buddy Cameron Higgins built this setup, and I was talking to him earlier today, and he said, "Hey man, try this in the race tonight." So I was like, "All right, what the heck?" Loaded it up, and that thing was the best car I'd ever driven. Best late model car for sure. So I don't know. It probably wasn't that fun to watch on the broadcast as far as the lead goes, but I'm sure those guys had some good battles going on.
It's dirt track racing. It's always fun to watch, and there's some interesting battles. Williams Grove is always one of those places with the late models. It's pretty one groove for them, but that probably mimics what it is in real life, because not every dirt track ends up being side by side like a lot of people think it does. With that said, I know you, of course, being one of the guys doing a lot of the work on some of the new builds coming out. A lot of people listening are really, really interested. The big update for dirt oval racing that's coming. A couple of the cars got adjusted. Everyone wants to know about this cushion update. How does it drive? How does it feel? How's it going to change the sim?
I think it's definitely a game changer. You know, in testing, you never get you know, the same kind of results you're going to get when we put this out and all the members are running it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But like for example, that track right there, Williams Grove, is probably one of my favorite tracks on here. But it is very one lane. But the way they're updating the tracks and how the tracks wear and the cushion and all that stuff, it should definitely make things more interesting. You know, like, I've only ran it a few times on a few different tracks, and the times I ran it, you kind of, it's just like a cushion. You want to almost spool the tires up right before you hit it. You're kind of rolling on the throttle, and then you spin them up and run into the cushion. You think you're going to hit the wall, and it just kind of grabs. It's really tricky to run it effectively. So I think that'll make it interesting, because there's a trade-off there. You can run it and make some time for sure, but there's a bigger risk of jumping it and hitting the wall. So it's going to be quite a big update. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out once all these really good guys get to running it and see what happens. I don't really know what to expect. I know what it feels like when I try to run it, and you know, but it's a whole different ball game when you get, you know, 40 50 of these guys that are really good doing it. So we'll see, and we'll tweak on it as we go. It's new. It's you know, like we always do. We'll continue to work at it until we can get it as close as possible to the real thing.
Thanks for joining us, T-Hug. Congratulations on the dominating performance. Before we let you go, who gets it done on that bright white and yellow 8 car?
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Like I said earlier, shout out to Cameron. Big shout out to him.
Hey.
That was that.
Wrong Cameron.
Cameron Higgins. That was the reason that car was so fast. So I appreciate his work, and then all the other guys at One Up Motorsports that helped me out. So I appreciate it.
That was Mr. Tyler Hudson Cam, who put in a dominating performance, and some interesting info there about the update that we got rolling out, and that's some very useful info, I think, for a lot of people.
Yes, sir. We are very quickly going to get Jacob Fields in here as the sprints are getting ready to go. So we'll get Jacob Fields in here. Virgil Graham and Alex Berger, well, they are just going to have to sit this, the interview out. We'll get the 007 of Jacob Fields into the chat. Jacob, real quickly, as the sprint cars are getting ready to rock and roll, the late model race, how did it go for you? You had a great battle with Alex Bergeron.
Oh man, it was crazy. I mean, that track wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but it was definitely fun. Put up a heck of a battle.
Yeah, and the track did develop. It slid away. The lines seemed to shift, but it never really moved. You could do an over-under or something like that, but it didn't seem to take off like you thought it might have under the lights. The battling over the course of the season's been fairly good, yeah? Oh
yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, the amount of races that I've been able to get in with these guys, it's been great racing. Usually we get some side-by-side if the track permits that, but yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, and well, with that, I will just say you have the floor for the final late model broadcast here for iRacing Dirt tonight. And who would you like to thank? Who gets it done for you?
As always, I'd like to thank the guys at Elite 7 and our sponsors, Water Truck Productions and Max Speed TV. Thank you guys for broadcasting this tonight. You guys always put on a heck of a broadcast.
Well, it is our pleasure, and Jacob, thank you so very much, and best of luck. We'll see you next time, I suppose.
Thanks, guys.
And with that, Jacob Fields, your second place winner, will head off, and we will also head off because we are going to head over to USA International Speedway. We've got World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Cars on the docket, and we will be back in just a few moments' time. The 410 wing cars are already getting warmed up, and practice qualifying's upcoming. We'll bring it to you. Don't go anywhere. It's iRacingLive, RaceSpot TV. We'll be back.
chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary at the line.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of Outlaws.
Welcome back, continuing coverage of iRacing Dirt Night. It has been a long and lovely 12 weeks. Hello everybody, Cameron Walsh, Randy Chenowth, and Hugo Louis. As it's been all season long, we're going to be missing you guys for sure, but I can just tell you it has been a pleasure. And we have got to finish the 410 Wing Sprint Cars. It's the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series live from USA International Speedway down in Lakeland, Florida. We've got a good one. Randy, the names are absolutely packed. Everybody's wheeled out their machines. They've stuck on the new tires, and they are ready to rumble.
Got a lot of familiar names, Cam, and a couple we've not seen in a while. And one of them immediately goes quick. The 19 car of Logan Seavey. We saw him in season 1 when they first released this stuff nearly a year ago, and he was very, very quick then. He was fastest, but John Batista, he goes half a tenth quicker and puts the only car currently in the 4th.
There's Bergeron. He goes for an 18.473. So Bergeron picking up as he is getting himself fast. Daniel Gao puts in a fast time too, as there goes Batista, one time faster, 18.443. So John Batista, what a wonderful run that number 6 machine has, as we have got championship points up on the screen for you right now. It is Alex Bergeron with a 15.59, Austin Semmelman with a 13.63, Dylan Semmelman, Nick Cooper, David Heilman, and then Lewis Hewitt. A lot of drivers that are running up there are not here in attendance. Lepresto is not here. Semmelman brothers are not here, though that could potentially be Randy because of that giant, massive nor'easter. That's a big storm. Lots of snow, wind, taking out power poles. Okay, well, either way, we're going to move on. We're going to go start talking about heat number 1, as we are ready to rock and roll. 11 cars here for heat number 1. Starting it off is going to be John Batista. David Heilman will start his outside. Logan Seavey starts 3rd. Matthew McKinney will start 4th. Nathan Davis in 5th. Stephen Renaud is 6th. Dylan Sharman is 7th. Cody Olson is 8th. Adam Elby is 9th. Corey Wenzel is 10th. And Bob King rounds out your 11-car sprint car field. But we sit ourselves behind the pace truck, Randy, and USA International Speedway. It's high speed, it's high risk, it's high rewards here at the USA.
Yeah, it's a big dirt track here at USA, 3/4 of a mile, which most dirt tracks is pretty big. There's a couple big ones that are, of course, been famous for, you know, over the years, but not usually used to seeing a track this big, and this is going to be an interesting heat race.
Yeah, and so the pace truck is just waiting on John Batista. There he goes. So we'll get these sprint cars underway. Our truck driver, having made the mileage from Pennsylvania to Florida, and it seems like a minute, as he has driven that truck. I mean, that truck must have thousands and thousands of miles. As it is driving all around for our different dirt races here to present to you on iRacingLive and RaceSpot TV. Cars having rolled now. The high line might come in, but I think it's going to be the low line to start, as the track is it's very, very new. And we'll see just what these guys can do here at USA. This is the fastest that you're going to see these cars, and it is definitely where you see the duels, where cars are dueling each other. There is a massive bump on the entry to pit lane, on the exit of pit lane. There's a bump there, and that is going to be tricky once the track starts getting worn in. Here we go. Pace truck will be looking to pull in the next time by and get us ready to go. He goes past the starter stand. Randy, ready to rock and roll.
Ready to rock and roll indeed, and John Batista, I think, can be very happy with his qualifying tonight. Did a very, very good job out in front. I'm looking for him to be very quick, but still, of course, as always, number of names to watch as they try to work way through, especially that 19 car starting third of Logan Seavey. Super interested to see how he does tonight in that black and purple 19.
So here we go. Heat number 1 ready to go in Lakeland, Florida. It is the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Cars Series here on iRacing, iRacingLive, RaceSpot TV. Happy to bring it to you for the final time. We have got heat number 1 rounding the corner. The pace truck looks to the safety of pit lane, and John Batista will get us ready to go. He punches it as soon as he can. He gets the whole shot of David Heilman, and we are green here at USA.
Green indeed, is a big jump for John Batista out in front. Second spot goes to David Heilman as Logan Seavey's going to try to slide up in front. Takes the nose off of Steven Renaud, who has to get way off the throttle. I think he clips that wall on the entry into 3 and 4. But Logan Seavey being aggressive as we expect. He's always been as we come down this first straight once again, in towards 1 and 2. 18 of Matt McKinney. He goes to the bottom trying to make a move on Heilman. Nothing going, and Logan's going to have a run.
And McKinney, he's trying hard the inside, and here comes Logan Seavey with a massive slider, takes the nose off of McKinney. McKinney has to get out of it, move Logan Seavey up 1 position, as that was a hairy slider that he threw. He's going to stay high side this time. It is just like that, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars all on a line as we are rocking and rolling here at USA.
Another big move there from Logan, and it makes me a little nervous because that was borderline dirty as he almost came sliding up right into the likes of Steve Renaud. Steve's going to throw a move as well. Matt McKinney is the driver who he actually nearly took the nose off of, who had to lift way out of it. Nate Davis, he gets into the wall off of corner number 2, and he's going to drop a number of spots. Cody Olson's going to try to throw a move on Steven Renaud. I don't think that was intended to be a slider. I think he was just off the line trying to get around Nate Davis.
David Heilman is running inside line. Everyone else running outside line. So I had it backwards. Everyone's running the outside line here as Batista runs high. Heilman wasn't happy with it, so he runs high. Logan Seavey running high. As we are ready to get ourselves completed in this heat, we've got 2 laps to go. And Randy, everyone's running the high side, but already I'm hearing the throttles burp as David Heilman takes a bite out of the wall, and actually this allows Logan Seavey to come into play.
This is why David is running the bottom. He doesn't look comfortable up the top. He sees him slide up the racetrack. Logan, big run. And it's going to be popsicle sticks in the air. Is he going to throw a move? Yes, he is. 19 car hops to the bottom. Going to try to slide job David Heilman. He overcooks it at 19. It's get way out of the throttle, and David cuts it back underneath. Takes second spot back. He's only got 3/4 of a mile more to hold on to it. Can that 3 car hook the bottom? As Olsen is throwing sliders in the back as well.
And John Batista will take heat number 1, then David Heilman, then Logan
White flag, Kim.
Oh, wait, we do have 1 to go. Okay, I thought that was the white. As John Batista will then take the white flag. Nothing will change positionally. So there you go. Now John Bautista takes the checkered flag, then David Heilman, then Logan Seavey, then Matt McKinney, then Stephen Renaud, and the rest of the field comes sliding on through, and sometimes I mean that literally, as, well, there you go, just like that, high speeds, high angle of attack, I guess, as that is your results. John Bautista, David Heilman, Logan Seavey, Matt McKinney, Steve Renaud, Cody Olson, Dylan Sharman, Nathan Davis, Bob King, Corey Wenzel, Adam Elby. So, grid number 2, and Randy, this one's led by Alex Bergeron. Daniel Gow is going to start second. Ryan O'Toole, Travis Smith, Vinny Sansone, Nick Cooper, Anthony Lopresto, oh, he is here, Alex Krapser, Lewis Hewitt, Tony DeBeal, and then Stephen Renaud. Stephen Renaud was in the other heat. So, 10 cars here in the heat. And we've got my favorite sprint car here. We've got the Tic Tac sprint car. Tony DeBeal. I love that thing. So go, Tony, go. As
much like all of Cam's favorite things, it's in the back of the field.
Absolutely. That's more of an underdog story. Either way. I will say, Randy, the paint schemes have been all over the place, and I think everyone's just settling on black with some different kinds of bright accents, and I'm not sure if I like
that's actually become the norm of, like, sim racing paint schemes in this era. It's sort of one of these things where everyone will do the same thing for a while, and then someone will come out with something different that looks cool, and then everyone will go do that, and then someone else will come up with something. It's, you know, I've been on the sim for 6 years now, and it's been the same trend for years and years and years. It's sort of okay, but now granted, I'm saying this as someone with a black and yellow sprint car, but granted, black, white, and yellow have always been my colors to run on any of the cars that I run. It's like it's actually one of the reasons, Cam, that we just had the recent announcement. Doesn't affect the American Dirt Oval side too much, but the Fernando Alonso G2 announcement that just came down the pipe, those paint schemes are very interesting, very, very much based off Fernando's helmet design being blue, and then with the yellow and red and orange accents. Very interesting and unique color scheme, and it's going to stand out in these World Championships that we'll see the drivers in later this year.
We're not seeing them in dirt sprint cars, however, so
no,
we'll push that to one side.
GT and the World Championship Grand Prix Series, though. We'll see them tomorrow, in fact.
We'll see them tomorrow, yes, indeed. And you can watch it tomorrow here on iRacing Live and RaceSpot TV. But pushing those silly little Grand Tours aside, we have got dirt racing right in front of us as we are ready to rock and roll. Lights out on the pace track as we have got Alex Bergeron. Now, Bergeron has been waiting pretty much all day to have a start. He has restarted behind first position. He has restarted outside of first position. Now it's his turn. He did start the heat, but I will see what Alex can do. So, ready to rock and roll. The pace truck goes in front of the backstretch grandstand, and he will pull it into the safety of pit lanes. So, thanks to the safety truck driver, of course, as he never says anything to us, actually. It's almost like he's a robot. But Alex Bergeron, as he has got Vinny Sansone way inside, he doesn't worry about it. He punches away, massive hole shot for the number 1.
Yeah, Alex just gets a big margin. We got a car nearly upside down and then heavily into the wall. Who is that? That's Anthony Lopresto. What in the world happened to him as he tried to throw, I think it was the 16 car, he got tagged there by Travis Smith as he came down. So unfortunate there for him.
Yeah, and Ryan O'Toole, his Oculus Rift thing there shut off, so he had to start from pit lane as Anthony DePresto is out. Alex Bergeron, though, he's covered up. We've got a great battle out in the back. It's Nick Cooper, Lewis Hewitt, and Alex Krapser. Krapser, he's running high side. Toby DeVille is looking on as well, as this is a good battle. Lewis Hewitt, he gets a nose check off by Nick Cooper, but only by a hair. As Alex Krapser protects, continuing to look at the outside line. Toby's starting to stack up behind him. They're getting a stack on the outside line.
Yeah, a lot of stacking up there. Vinny Sansone tags the wall. That's going to be an even more of a stack up as Tic Tac goes by, as well as a car with an apple on that roof, as well as that TTL machine of Lewis Hewitt. There's a little bit of contact, bit of scrubbing as they come off corner number 4. 17 machine of Toby DeBeal. He goes to the bottom, trying to make something work. Not going to slide it, though. He's going to try to take the nose off Vinny Sansone, but the grip not there down low. Everyone like in the middle and high grooves here in the heat race number 2, except Daniel Gow, who tries the bottom in 3 and 4, and I don't think it works. Cross flags here. They go into 1.
Bergeron's running low line, which is surprising. He's running low in 1 and 2. Let's see, does he run low in 3 and 4? Yes, he does. So Bergeron is running super low. Is he just testing? That's my presumption. He's seeing if he can find the grip there as he goes past the starter stand. It was a 19 flat. and that was just as fast as Daniel Gow. Nick Cooper went just a hair faster with an 18.9, so Alex Bergeron, he's trying to look for the grip. He's got enough of a gap where he can do it, Randy, and he's comfortable.
That he does. He has enough of a gap that he can pretty much try anything. That's one of the great things about these heat races, getting out there and trying different stuff. 2 laps to go as they come now in towards 1 and 2 once again. As Nick Cooper, he's going to try to make something happen in that dirt coat car, but nothing going just yet. And he tried the bottom, it didn't quite work out.
No, not at all. As Alex Bergeron continuing to run the inside line, he's putting in good lap times as Daniel Gow is getting caught by Nick Cooper. Nick Cooper has tried high, he has tried low, and he's going to try to slingshot his way across here, but the line is taken away and he hits the outside wall. Nick Cooper not going to be happy with that one. He loses this time as we are on the white flag lap, so Alex Bergeron will pull it off of corner number 4. He lets the throttle open and he crosses the start-finish line. He will take victory here in heat number 2, excuse me. Daniel Gow will finish in 2nd, Nick Cooper 3rd, Lewis Hewitt 4th, Tony DeBeal will finish in 5th position after starting 10th, Alex Craftsman will finish 6th, Vinny Sansone, Travis Smith, and then Ryan O'Toole. We do have a consolation race. The top 4 will be going from the consolation race to the finale. So this is it. We've got 3 drivers to drop, Randy, and it looks to me like this is going to be high stakes.
Yeah, it certainly is. There are some big names here in this consolation race. There's going to be a lot of drama for sure. Nate Davis starting up front, Trav Smith, Bob King, Corey Wenzel. Those are the drivers I'm really keeping an eye on here. And like you said, 7 drivers, 3 of them do not carry on to the feature. Like I said, there's 4 that I think should, but there's no one really slow in this heat race. So who's it going to be? I don't know, but we're going to have 3 very broken-hearted people for sure.
Absolutely, to miss out the finale of the final race on iRacing Dirt Night. It will be, by the way, Nathan Davis, Travis Smith, Bob King, Ryan O'Toole, Corey Wenzel, Anthony Lepresto, and Adam Elby. So those are names that some of those names we've been calling out since the very start of our broadcasts here, as we have a salute to Tim Ryan out on the field because, ladies and gentlemen, I see the periscope coming out of the back of the pickup truck. That is the iRacing official safety vehicle because he needs it.
What truck do you have that has a periscope?
Because he has to have a periscope because the field is so far off of his rear, it's the only way he can see them. Well, he comes up from the truck. It's up. It goes up, and then it turns around, and then he can see behind him. So anyways, they go past the start-finish line as Nathan Davis is pulling one right out of the hat of Tim Ryan, who is surprisingly not here tonight. I would have expected him to be here just because it's the last run, you know, have a little bit of fun with it. But either way, he's keeping the spirits up because he is so far back. He's closed up a little bit, but either way, Nathan Davis is going to bring us to our last chance qualifier. This is it, the consolation run. The top 4 go, the bottom 3 go home. Who's going to make the main? Let's find out and do the dance here at USA International Speedway. iRacingLive, RaceSpot TV, of course, iRacing Dirt Night. This swan song right here is the last time we get our consolation run. Nathan Davis, when will he go? The first chance he gets, he hangs at 1 Mississippi. And there we go, as Nathan Davis powers out inside. Bob King tries inside Travis Smith. We're green.
Corner number 1 they go. Nate Davis takes it. There's a big hiccup from Bob King, and he immediately goes to the back of that 10 car. Then going to get a run on him. But the top 4 are currently sorted as Davis, Smith, O'Toole, and Wenzel. So that number 7 machine currently holds the last chance transfer spot. It's going to be Elby as well as King. They get into each other, and Lepresto just squeaks through. But one driver is already having his race night ended. That's Adam Elby.
Yep, and Corey Wenzel just put Travis Smith into the wall. Travis Smith's day is done. Travis Smith tried to run the inside line. They collected wheels, and now actually I think the wheels locked in on each other, and Travis Smith ended up dragging them in. So yeah, so the 2 teammates, oh boy, as there's another car that's retired, and that's Corey Wenzel. So just like that, we've had 3 retirements, so there you go.
Well, that sorted that, didn't it?
well, is there anything less that you could expect? We've got 4 running cars, so those are the 4 cars that are going to be transferring. Doesn't matter which order. It's Nathan Davis, Ryan O'Toole, Anthony Lepresto, and Bob King. So, well, there you go. We've got a 10-lap feature, though. Now, this is the important thing, Randy, because these guys are getting track experience as you watch the replay of the incident. Some of the incidents. You get the track experience on the Warren tracks. Those Heat 1 guys, they've been out for quite a while.
Yeah, it really has. They haven't been in the car in a while, and obviously make things interesting. Like we said, we're not, really nothing too aggressive about this race anymore. No one's going to get overly antsy fighting for spots because every one of these drivers on the track transfers. So you're right. Just need to talk about that sort of stuff, and really the fact that this racetrack has slickened up a bit, and that bottom groove, it has sort of come and gone, Cam, and it'll be interesting to see when it comes, if it comes back, and when it comes back in the feature, if we get some green flag racing.
I hope we get some green flag racing as you're looking out of the rear nerf bar of Nathan Davis as he is fighting right now for that first position here. Lap 7 of 10. Ryan O'Toole with his Oculus Rift now obviously in full working. I mean, unless he's driving with the power of the force, which, I mean, hey, you never know. As they are working strong, you can start seeing the shine, the sheen on the track as they've worked their way through here. Lap number 8, Randy, as it looks to me like we're going to have a battle for the victory.
Yeah, we just might, as Nate Davis has sort of calmed down a little bit in terms of speed. Ryan O'Toole, he's still out there up on the top 3 and 4, running a little bit quicker as Nate hiccups off of 4th. We might have a fight for the race win on our hands in this last chance qualifier. 9 car goes to the bottom, 2 laps to go as they're wheel to wheel for the win in the B main.
And coming to the inside line, Ryan O'Toole will stay. He tries to swing it high. He wants to get the overshoot as he closes on the number 4 machine. White flag in the air. Is he going to force the subject to the outside line? Yes, he is. He's going to hang it out on the line. It's the number 9 car versus the number 4 as Nathan Davis looks secured, but here comes O'Toole. He's got the outside line. He is going to keep it. And here we go. Nathan Davis tries inside line. Will he cut the nose off? He will not. And we're going to have a drag race to the start-finish line. It will go to Nathan Davis, .070. Anthony Lepresto, then Bob King. So, Randy, a bit of a drag race finish here in the consolation.
Yeah, a little bit indeed, but with that, we're going to have our star-studded feature to close it out. So many big names, so many names we've not seen in a while. Cam, it happens every week. We get through the heat races more or less clean, get to the feature, and these guys can't keep it off one another. Hopefully they can do that for the finale of Dirt Night, because we're not carrying this into next season.
No, we're not, and that's a shame, as here we go. Here is the starting grid. It is John Batista. He is starting position number 1. Alex Bergeron starting 2nd. David Heilemann will start in the 3rd position. Daniel Gao starts 4th. Logan Seavey will start in the 5th position. Nick Cooper, 6th. Matthew McKinney in 7th. Lewis Hewitt in 8th. Stephen Renaud in the 9th position. Toby DeBeal will round out your top 10. Cody Olson, Alex Krapser, Dylan Sharman, Vinny Sansone, Nathan Davis, Ryan O'Toole. And then you've got Anthony Lepresto, then Bob King. Your 3 non-transfers, Travis Smith, Corey Wenzel, and Adam Eldy. Cars are rolling. And Randy, fireworks are in the air. The atmosphere is intense. We have got 18 sprint cars. Count them, 18 sprint cars ready to go. And they're giving us a little bit of a 3-car salute in the front.
Yeah, a little bit indeed as these guys cycle their way through. Get ready for the first of their couple pace laps around this place, and now it's basically anyone's game. 30 laps being put up on the board, and who's going to be strong and who isn't. It's going to be interesting to see over the course of this one, as Batista has been quick all night, but Bergeron, he tends to get better as the track comes in and starts to go away than Batista. John has very good speed, but Bergeron is better late on in the run, I think better at making some moves stick. So it's going to be an interesting one for this one. Of course, a number of names in the mid-pack that you can't count out, the likes of Heilemann, Gal, CV, Cooper, McKinney, Hewitt, Renaud, basically anyone in the top 10, maybe even top 12, are in a semi-decent position, I think, to win this. It's going to be an interesting one to the checkers.
Yes, and thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for making these last 12 weeks so very special. It has been our pleasure, and I know I can say that for Randy, and I know I can say that for Hugo. It has been our pleasure to bring this racing to you guys. So for the last time, we're going to wind them up. 410 Wing Sprint Cars, the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Cars Series, coming to you live on iRacingLive, RaceSpot TV. Get up, get ready to rock and roll. We have got 30-lap feature here at USA International Speedway. Hopefully we will not have a caution, but it is probably likely because they like to pull the sliders on each other. John Batista, he lets the metal fly, and here we go for 30 laps at USA.
Into 1 and 2 for the first time. Will we escape through these first couple quarters? Clean Batista's in the wall. He's going to throw it away immediately and drop a bunch of spots. And there might be a stack up on the back straightaway because no one can see it. One car's around. I believe that's Nathan Davis. We're going to stay green. But from first to worst goes John Batista in the opening lap.
And we stay green. Alex Bergeron, he doesn't have to do anything, and he just stays in the clear. You see the replay on your screen. Nathan Davis, he popped himself around. So my goodness me, drama here at the end race of this iRacing Dirt Night to start us off around lap 2. And already Alex Bergeron has got a 7-10 lead, but he's running that inside line. 2 cars around. Alex Craftsman for the 20 car. Will we have a caution for this one? John Batista is around. No, we're going to stay green still. So 1 car drives backwards on the track. That's Alan Kepser. He needs to clear that car, and that will pull out the yellow.
Yeah, that's a little bit silly by Alex, to be honest.
Pull the car off.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He just went to the pit entry here, but he went backwards, and that's a really, really silly mistake for someone to make for 2 reasons. One is it's dangerous, and the other thing is that there is the risk of you going the wrong way, of you getting penalized. If you're going to do that, it's better for you to just simply tow the car because you're going to end up lapped down anyway. So to Alex, there's no other way to say it. He brought out that caution, just basically being completely absent-minded.
Yeah, and then he just drives through the pit lane as if nothing was wrong. So I think he probably could have just spun the car around if you just let the if you just pin it, it does spin.
No, 900 horsepower, only like 1,000 pounds, Cam. There's no way you can get some rotation with these things. Not with the right rear tire bigger than the left rear. No way.
No spinning at all. So
brake traction in a sprint car, never.
No. As Toby DeBeal will bring his machine down pit lane, so I believe he picked up some damage at the start there because we had seen there was a slight incident there. They're going to call that day done. Oh, no, he's going to, okay, pull it through. He pulled into the pits and everyone kind of looked at him like, that's not how this works. So he went, oh, okay. So he
was wondering why they could see his front wing.
Yeah, but, well, here we go. Pace truck is out. Alex Bergeron is your leader. Heilman is second. Nick Cooper third. Logan Seavey has moved himself up to 4th from 5th. So we get ourselves ready to line up. Randy, good start, I'd have to say, other than the incident in the back and obviously the weird caution.
Yeah, an interesting start. Things are getting aggressive. I think the only couple people who would sort of disagree would be John Batista and Nate Davis. But at the end of the day, John Batista did it to himself, so no one else to blame there. And I know John, and he's going to be really kicking himself based on that silly mistake.
Yeah, and by the way, we forgot to do the count. It is 4 Australians here today. 4 Australians. Now, of course, we have to say, the pace truck, the lights are out. We are going back to green. Lap number 6 going on to 7. Will we have the run all the way to the finish? Oh, we'll have to find out. The field is now down to 14. What are we going to do as David Heilman is so close to Bergeron, and Bergeron needs him to go, and they're stacking up going into 1.
Logan Seavey drives right around David Heilman. He should be fine because he did it on the outside. You're not technically supposed to make passes, but if you do it around the long way on the right, you're generally fine. So Logan Seavey, he's fighting for second as Bergeron is broken away as they come through corners number 3 and 4. And Logan Seavey started 5th on the grid, and he's going to find himself second at the timing beam.
Well, yeehaw, Alex Bergeron's running that bottom line, and he's doing it comfortably. Logan Seavey's found his right rear end, tapping that concrete wall on the outside. He is hanging it out there as he is trying to catch in. You can actually see the line. You can see the shine on the outside line. You can see the shine on the inside line. I think Alex Bergeron's going to have to change his line pretty soon here because he was closer, and they're stacking them up somewhere. There's 1 car around, and that has brought out caution number 2. Stephen Renaud, I see, involved.
If Stephen or not, it seems involved with it. I'm still trying to get to the incident to be on.
Okay, well, we're going to have to rewind it a little bit more than that, Hugo. But they were coming off of corner number 3 into 4. They were sliding up off of 4, and you'll see the car
they kind of just got into each other.
Screen. Yeah, and then they will, here you go, on the super slow-mo. They make the contact coming across, and there you go. Your incident develops from there. A little bit of a nick from Cody Olson. And I think everyone else got, for the most part, through. Yeah, I think so. So, caution number 2.
Yeah, it's just sort of an unfortunate incident. Just one of those situations where you know, they both just sort of got into each other at the same time. Sharman started sliding up the track just with a nod. He made a little mistake, got a little bit loose off of 4, and he started coming down the track. It's, you know, just one of those situations that unfortunately can happen. Is it's just still ticking off more laps. And Logan Seavey, what a run it's been for him, Cam. I know he's been active on the sim. He's just not been in the Friday Night Dirt Night broadcast, and he comes out and he's running really, really well tonight.
Yeah, and he is going to be putting up a massive challenge for Alex Bergeron. Now, we saw Heilman. He tried to jump Bergeron. He tried to spook Bergeron by basically putting his wheels together. They basically tried to go rim to rim almost. And it did nothing, and then Bergeron left him in the dirt, and then he got absolutely jumped, I think. He got mugged at the start of that one. As Bergeron will drive well ahead of the pace truck. Not sure why, buddy, you gotta stay back there. Have not seen somebody play with a pace car this much before. But either way,
Dale used to do it. Dale had some fun with the pace car in the days. I'm not even... What?
I'm just saying, they line themselves up. I am not for extracurricular activities on the racing track.
Fun is not allowed if you ask Cam Walsh.
That's right, absolutely. So, our pace truck driver for hopefully the final time will be pulling into pit lane as Alex Bergeron will take us to the green. Logan Seavey starting on the outside. This is going to be interesting. David Heilman, Nick Cooper, Lewis Hewitt, Matt McKinney, your front 3 rows. Alex Bergeron ready to rock as the pace truck pulls off into the safety of pit lane. Ladies and gentlemen, strap in. We have got 28 laps to go here in this 30-lap feature. 18 laps to go in this 30-lap feature. Alex Bergeron pulls away. He lets it fly. Randy, we're green at USA.
Another good jump here out near the front as Bergeron, he gets away from the bottom side of the racetrack and goes up top as Logan Seavey is going to continue to work up there. David Heilman, who's recovering, is trying to get up there as well. I think maybe clips the wall in the entry 3. Logan Seavey, he does get into the wall. That's going to be a big stack up in the mid-pack. David Heilman's involved. Couple of cars around. Big pile up. Cody Olson's in it.
Cody Olson, the one that brought out the yellow because he was sent a spinning. But that started way earlier than that. That started with Logan Seavey. He had been nipping that outside wall. Finally, it bit him. He was doing about, I'd say maybe 8 miles an hour slower than David Heilman. Heilman, he had to back off. I think he backed off either because of forced contact or not. And here you go on the replay as it comes through. He nips, and then these guys just start stacking them up behind him. And you can see there the number 14 machine of Bob King is there all the way to the right. And then you can see the 13 car spinning. And that is how your yellow got brought out. And I think we've had a couple more retirements because of it.
Yeah, we did. There was a couple big incidents there. Sort of Bob King was unable to get that car slowed down and got into one of those cars who were trying to avoid Logan up on the top side of the racetrack. I think we have Heilman actually coming down on towards pit road and did so not good for that VLR number 3 car. But it's been an interesting night thus far of racing as we're now over halfway in our 30-lap feature event. 15 scored complete. Now the question is, are we going to get them to the clean to the end from here? Because, well, we're running out of race cars to potentially wreck, so...
I don't think anyone actually retired. I was looking through. I was waiting for somebody to retire. Nobody did, so we managed to keep them all together. But I'm angrily waving my fist. Come on, boys. Get this thing going. This is it. This is literally the last time. It's the last hurrah. It's the swan song. It's the final dance. It's whatever other... It's the final countdown. As we got almost.
I almost started like singing it, but I realized that would involve a copyright strike. Yeah, that would have not been good. That would have not been good for the for that.
The production staff would have had to have a word with you, and by production staff I mean Hugo. So
yeah, the production staff. Literally the production staff.
The production staff. Mr. Production Staff, Hugo Louis. But either way. So, again, we're halfway through the feature event here. We've had 3 cautions, unfortunately. And that means, well, that we are on lap 17 of 30. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's see if we can get this going. Let's hope. Let's send our hope to the drivers out on this racetrack, and let's see if we can get this thing green. So we want a good show. We want a good finale here for you guys, and I'm sure these drivers want that as well. So Alex Bergeron will lead us to the green. Logan Seavey will be ready to try to pin on the outside. Will Seavey be able to continue to paint that outside wall? We'll find out. Base truck pulling into pit lane right now. Alex Bergeron lets it fly. We are green here at USA.
Big jump, and watch for Logan Seavey. He was all sorts of sideways as he came onto the front straightaway on this restart. Maybe a little damage on that 19 car after that little tap of the wall on that last run. In towards 3 and 4 now. Everyone's still 2 by 2. Still multiple grooves on the racetrack working. They're 3 wide for second pretty much. As Seavey is up on the top. Hewitt now is going to be 3 wide for third, 2 wide for third, and it's Hewitt and McKinney who are fighting it out.
And Hewitt started in 8th position, and he has worked his way through the turquoise machine. Very easy to see as Alex Bergeron is mowing the lawn on the inside line again. The outside line, he is not comfortable out there. Logan Seavey, he is not comfortable out there either, but he's trying to make it work because that's where the speed is, at least according to Seavey. Matt McKinney hanging outside line. Lewis Hewitt fighting against Nick Cooper. We're on lap 20. We've got a good green flag run going on. Stephen Renaud, he's a little loose. It looks to me like the car of Bon King is going to try to run the inside line, but he's got no front wing. He's got no grip. Toby DeMille gets his nose cut off by Stephen Renaud. He actually pushes Renaud just a little bit into the corner. They slow up in the back of the pack.
Logan Seavey gets a big wiggle coming off corner number 2, still trying to run the top. I don't think he feels very comfortable up there. Maybe needs to try the bottom, which is where we see race leader Alex Bergeron go to. Let's see how that affects the lap times. It's going to be a 19.4 for Alex versus a 19.6 for Logan, who would get a big wiggle in towards 3 and 4. Lewis Hewitt in the background. He's going to throw a bit of a move down low on Matt McKinney, but nothing going to stick. Inside final 10 laps of Friday night dirt night and in towards 3 and 4. I think Hewitt's going to throw another move. He's not throwing moves. He just likes the middle of the racetrack as there's a nice, good strip of dirt sort of in that middle groove right now, Cam.
Yeah, and they are looking for it. Bergeron keeps trying high. Bergeron keeps trying low. And Logan Seavey is in pursuit. They're trading lap times like you wouldn't believe. Matt McKinney, he has to throw high side, and he gets washed out. And here comes Nick Cooper. As Cooper tries to run the inside line, he can't get anywhere. Lewis Hewitt, he's running the middle line right now. As you can see, here comes Nick Cooper with another slider. Lewis Hewitt, he knows if he just stays outside and powers, he should be able to have the position. He does. Damien Gow is also trying, one of your Australian drivers, to get to the inside line, but he is unable to. Nick Cooper with a slider, but Randy saw it coming.
Yeah, pretty much really the big situation here. There 6 laps to go here at the stripe. Still out in front, though. Bergeron and Seavey said they were swapping lap times, but now it's not so much swapping. And this Logan Seavey having the advantage. To the bottom goes Bergeron once again, hoping to hook something up, but Seavey's going to have a big run and might have an opportunity. He's got a big head of steam, and he's not going to take it. Yes, he is. Goes to the bottom in 1 and 2. Going to try to slide up and take the nose off that drill spill cart. Bergeron lifts out of it, gets back to the bottom, and he takes the race lead down the back straightaway as they're trying to stack him up for third as well.
Bergeron saw that coming. He's played this game before. He knows what's up. He has played the over-unders an entire races at a time. So for Bergeron, he's comfy with it. So Logan Seavey, he's comfy with it. I think everyone knew that that was going to happen, but he wanted to get the shot across the bow. He wanted to say, hey, I'm here. You have a caution. And that is going to change everything. Oh, don't tell me we're going to finish the race like that.
Boo. I think that's the case.
No, no. What happened there is I think it just happened to Lewis Hewitt. Daniel Gow, he caught too much traction. He started putting the throttle down. He got traction and threw him sideways right into Lewis Hewitt. This race better not end like this. It's going to, though.
I think that, yeah, I think that's it. Unless they double up. Yeah, there's no way. That's it.
Oh, no. What a bummer. But, yeah, 28, so 29. Oh, if the lights aren't going to go out this time by, I can tell you that. So,
yeah, and that's it. Because we're lot 29. So.
Ah, man. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And that is going to do it for... is there any other way to finish this, Randy? We've done, what, 3 seasons of sprint cars now? And this is probably the most anticipated and expected way to finish a sprint car race.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's people, near the end of the race, people get, expectedly antsy, but it's always people. The worst part is it's always a mid-packer. It was just an accident, but it's just sort of one of those things where. And I know this, and I might catch some flack from some of the guys for saying it, but a lot of these guys that run these cars, they run the 360s all week, and they only run the 410s for this broadcast, and I think that's one of the reasons we've had some issues over the course of this season, the fact that these guys come in unprepared and, frankly, can't drive the car with all this power on it, and, well, a lot of the big names who like to hype themselves up, they end up bringing out cautions in silly ways in these races. It's happened all season.
So anyways, we have got 1 lap to go behind the pace truck. Hey, actually, the pace truck's gonna win. So our pace truck driver, he's gonna take the checkered flag. So with that, they're gonna stack them up to come across the start-finish line in their finishing positions. Alex Bergeron is going to be your victor. He fought against a good challenge from Logan Seavey. Logan Seavey was there. We would have loved to have seen that last 5-lap duel, but unfortunately, that is not going to be the case. So the pace truck is going to round corners number 3. The pace truck's going to round corner number 4. And victory in the very final field race for iRacing Dirt Night here at USA International Speedway is going to be Mr. Alex Bergeron. Logan Seavey will finish 2nd. Nick Cooper will finish 3rd.
Yep, good. Well done for them. I have to say, the only really thing I can take away from this race is good up near the front. Fantastic racing up near the front. There are a couple silly mistakes that brought out a couple yellows, but the front guys, I will say, they were playing really nice with one another, and it was looking fantastic. I think Logan is a big talking point to pop up like that and run like that. So it was an interesting race out in front when it was green.
Absolutely, and you got to feel for John Bautista as well. I mean, having that incident right at the start, very unfortunate. But either way, Alex Bergeron, your race winner. He took it. He's got the victory, and he is going to be celebrating and burning it down at USA International Speedway. He's on the front stretch. Let's see how long it takes for him to... Oh, he's going to pull it into the pit lane. Oh, no, he's not going to pull it in the pit lane. And
no, I thought he was going to pull it into the little, like,
I know, yeah, the little,
dimple, which is, like, the worst victory lane that's ever victory lane.
I meant to say victory lane. Oh, well, okay. Okay, no.
Now, this is what I call pod racing.
Right? We're trying. He's trying so hard to park the car perpendicular in the... he almost... All right, well, anyways, let's go to the results. As he tries... No, he's going to do donuts now. Okay, very good, very good. The official results here from USA International Speedway and the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series. Well, we were set for a grandstand finish, and then the grandstand fell apart. Alex Bergeron will come home with it in 15 minutes and 39 seconds. Logan Seavey will go from 5th to 2nd. He'll finish 2nd in that number 19 machine. Nick Cooper finishes 3rd. Danny Liao comes home in 4th position. Steven Renaud will come home in 5th. David Heimelman in 6th. Toby DeBeal in 7th. Dylan Sherman in the 8th position. Bob King will come home 9th. Vinny Sansone 10th. Ryan O'Toole 11th. Cody Olson 12th. And Lewis Hewitt in 13th position. Retirees Matt McKinney, Alex Crapsper, Anthony Lepresto, and then John Bautista. Well, with that, Randy, we had plenty of Australians. We had Australians finishing in 4th. We had a Canadian winning, and a bunch of Americans running as well. So, fantastic running, I have to say, when we did have the green flags, but unfortunately, didn't have it happen here at USA. We finished under yellow.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but guess what? Sometimes it always happens. Sometimes things don't go your way. Heck, I had tickets in the Paris World of Outlaws show for tomorrow night. Got canceled. So some things don't always go your way, but regardless, we have Mr. Alex Bergeron to speak to Cam, so things went his way.
Heck, I had tickets for Weedsport that got rained out twice. Anyways, Alex Bergeron.
Rain in California. You can't explain that.
All right. So Alex Bergeron, our race winner here at USA International Speedway, the final round of iRacing Dirt Night. Alex, you're closing out iRacing Dirt Night for us. Take us through it.
That was definitely a blast. You know, a couple of caution, but Logan Seavey, that was very fun. Full slide jobs and everything. So yeah, and I mean overall that was a good race. We had a couple of laps. I should say. But you know, that's to TV for 2nd place there, and good race overall. So I think we won the championship. I'm not sure there, but we'll need to see.
I'm pretty sure you got it all locked up, but either way, this USA Speedway lines seem to be coming into effect here. You were running the inside line, the outside line. Just were you more comfortable on the inside line and only ran the outside defensive, or what was up with that?
In the middle of the race, the bottom line was a little bit faster, but like the top side was running a lot faster at the end, so I had to go there after a caution. So definitely paid off.
Yeah, paid off indeed. And well, with that, let's take a look at the last 12 weeks, Alex. I mean, it's been good running. You took the championship this time. You had good running basically all year long. Now we're going to be heading off into a qualifying series. and just you're looking to continue your momentum going forward to the pinnacle, which will be the World of Outlaws Drivers' Championship.
Definitely, I'll try to get good runs there and get consistent or be consistent. And we had a good runs this year, good runs in the boat championship. You know, last 2 championships in World of Outlaws, I won back to back. So you know, definitely a good momentum going. And there's just 5 races for the Pro Series, so that's gonna be interesting. And I'm gonna run for the late models too. So fun.
Well, looking to double dip here at the Dirt Ovals. It's Alex Bergeron. Alex, for the final time here on iRacing Dirt Night on Friday nights, here on iRacing Live and RaceSpot TV, the floor is yours.
Yeah, first off, thanks to everybody who's watching. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting the whole series, for whole series this season as well. So that was pretty cool. All my partners, their collective, the Drill Spill, their car racing, Mar Inc. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys.
And with that, our final interview has concluded. And Alex, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. And Randy, we've had Global Rallycross. We've had World of Outlaws Super Late Models. We've had World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Cars. That's it, buddy. We're done.
It was a fantastic season, wasn't it? And I can't remember. You know, it's sort of hard to believe that it's come to an end. I remember when myself and Hugo were discussing how to make this work back before the season launched. We knew we wanted to include some Rallycross content, get some heat racing stuff in, and make a longer show. And we were just sort of picking and choosing, trying to figure out what we wanted. We had no idea the fact that some of this dirt stuff was going to get world championships. And lo and behold, the 3 series that we chose to broadcast are the 3 series getting world championships coming up in just about a season or so. Not sure how long it's going to be after the qualifying series, but those are going to be starting this next season. That's really the big talking point for all these guys, I think, right now. So for that, it's a nice preview show for what we might see there. Let's just hope the sprint car guys, when they get those black stripes, can clean it up.
Absolutely, and if not, we always know that the late models now will always have good racing to offer. And of course, with GRC, I can say with a good sense of confidence that at least one purple Volkswagen will be running up front, piloted by one Mr. Mitchell de Jong. So with that, Hugo, I'm afraid to say it, it almost hurts me to say, start the music. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it has been myself, Cameron Walsh, it's been Randy Chenowth, and it's been Hugo Louis bringing you the last 12 weeks here on iRacing Dirt Night. We're signing off for the final time, but of course, take a look at the iRacing Live schedule, see when we're on for the Blank Pan Pro Series that's starting. Overlay design, Andreas Werner, as well as everyone else that's on the credits on your screen. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it has been a pleasure. It's been fun. It's been real, but we are going to be signing off. We will see you all next time, wherever that may be, whenever that may be. Keep an eye out for us on all the social media platforms, and we will see you later. We'll see you next time. For all of us at RaceSpot TV, we're signing off for one final time. So congratulations to all of our victors, and we will see you all next time.